Pokémon. Start from sign in. Chapter 76. After waiting in line, Kurakawa and the others left first, and the three of them went directly to the Hoenn region. Since Xiao Mao was sent to study with the master of the AC, he did not attend this birthday party. Let's go see Professor Oak tomorrow. Ning Hao thought. Professor Oak, I'm here. Ning Hao called at the door of the institute. It's Xiao Hao, come in. Dr. Oak still opened the door for him with a bowl of instant noodles. Xiao Hao, let me see what Pokémon you have captured in the Hoenn region. Dr. Oak said hurriedly. Please wait a moment, the space here may not be big enough. Ning Hao looked around and said. Then let's go to the backyard. Professor Oak said. Then Ning Hao released the Pokémon that lived in the Hoenn region, but Groudon and Kyogre were not released. After all, they were too big. Kyogre could fly, but some mythical beasts couldn't fly. Oh my god, Lugia, Mew, Rayquaza, and these I don't know. Professor Oak was shocked to see so many Pokémon. Among them, Professor Oak knew those in the Hoenn Atlas, but he had never seen Deoxys and Jirachi only appeared in legends. You have captured so many mythical beasts. Professor Oak asked with disbelief in his tone. Well, there are also Kyogre and Groudon, but they are too big. Rayquaza is okay in the sky. The Yangtze River's back waves push the front waves, you are going to beat the front waves to death on the beach. Dr. Oak thought about Ning Hao's current strength and said, if the mythical beasts are included, he may be invincible in the world today. Even if the mythical beasts are not included, he is still an 11-year-old king. Tell me what these two Pokémon are. Dr. Oak pointed at Deoxys and Jirachi and said. This is Jirachi, it is the legendary Pokémon that can fulfill any wish. Ning Hao said. Is it Jirachi? Dr. Oak has also heard of the legend of Jirachi, but there is no detailed record of its appearance. It is Deoxys, a Pokémon from outer space, with superpowers as its attribute. Ning Hao continued. Pokémon from outer space. Dr. Oak's eyes lit up. Let me collect their data quickly. Dr. Oak said. Okay. Ning Hao did not refuse. As an orphan in his previous life, Dr. Oak felt like a grandfather to him. As expected, when Professor Oak saw Pokémon, he was like Ning Hao who saw a beautiful woman, and he was fully engaged. The morning passed. Oh, sorry, I forgot the time when I was working. Professor Oak patted his head and said embarrassedly. It's okay, it's okay. Ning Hao said quickly. I'm really surprised by the Pokémon you have captured during this period. Professor Oak said. Ha ha ha, I'm just lucky. Ning Hao said. Luck. Who has good luck to capture so many top-level beasts? Professor Oak looked at him speechlessly. But it's very dangerous, isn't it? Professor Oak continued. It's okay, it's not too dangerous. Ning Hao didn't intend to tell the process. After all, if Professor Oak let it slip, Hanako would be worried to death. Yeah. Professor Oak didn't ask in detail. Leave these remaining Pokémon here for a few days. I'll check their health. Professor Oak continued. He had no intention of keeping the legendary beasts. After all, the legendary beasts gave Ning Hao face, but they might not give him face. Okay, I'll leave next Sunday. Come and get them next Sunday. Ning Hao said. Okay. Professor Oak said excitedly, and then continued his research. Professor Oak, I'm leaving first. Ning Hao looked at Professor Oak who continued to work and left first. Well, Professor Oak said without looking back. Quote. 3 days passed quickly, and Xiaoling also woke up. Congratulations, Master, the system has been updated. What's updated? Come and listen. The system has now cancelled the advanced lottery for sign-in, and the points lottery only has the Pokémon lottery. Quote question mark. You have degenerated. Ning Hao stared at Xiaoling and asked. No, there are other things. Now the system tasks will be more frequent, the rewards will be richer, and a special task has been opened to collect all the first-level gods with priesthood. Reward. Unknown, mission failure, punishment, system disconnection. Xiaoling said. Task auxiliary. Assistance, the master balls for conquering them will be provided by the system, and the master balls will not appear in the lottery wheel. Quote. Conquer all the first-level gods. This task is too difficult, and there is a penalty for failure. Ning Hao thought. The King of Phoenix has been conquered, and Johto, Kanto and Hoenn have been completed. Fortunately, There are no mythical beasts, otherwise it will be more difficult. Forget it, let's take it one step at a time. Time flies, and the day of farewell is coming soon. Mom, I'm leaving, Xiaoji, be good. Ning Hao touched Xiaoji's head and said. Well, goodbye, brother. Xiaoji said reluctantly. Go, Xiaohao. Hanako said. Professor Oak, I'm here to get Pokémon. Ning Hao said at the door of the research institute. Okay. Professor Oak walked out of the research institute with a bunch of Pokeballs in his hand. Thank you very much. Professor Oak handed the Pokémon to Ning Hao and patted his shoulder. You're welcome. I'll leave first. Goodbye. Ning Hao arrived at the evergreen forest first, and Venusaur was sleeping inside the forest with light on its body. As for why he came to pick up Venusaur, of course it was Xiao Ling who reminded him. Just when he got up, Xiao Ling reminded him to take Venusaur to the system space. After all, Venusaur can't fly. In the evening, Ning Hao arrived at Golden City and met Natsu. Let's go, let Mewtwo take us back. Ning Hao suggested. Okay. Natsu also experienced Mewtwo's service and did not refuse. Come out, Mewtwo, take us back. Ning Hao let Mewtwo out. Let's go. Mewtwo used his superpowers to drag the two of them towards Shujing City. After flying for another day, they arrived at the road next to Shujing City at night. Mewtwo also found a hidden corner to put the two of them down. Thank you, Mewtwo, go back and rest. Then he took Mewtwo back. Rest in Shujing City for one night now, and go to Green Ridge City tomorrow. Natsu said, looking at the sky. Yeah. The two of them then found a hotel in Shujing City to stay. Let's go. Destination, Green Ridge City. Trigger the sign-in task. Get the heart badge at the Green Ridge Gym. Rewards, points 1000, God level lottery 1. There is a God level lottery for this kind of task. Ning Hao asked incredulously. Yes, Master, after the system is updated, there will be a God level lottery when challenging the gym. Xiao Ling said playfully. The plane was launched, and the plane was launched again. It's taking off. I didn't expect to get so many rewards for my birthday. Ning Hao said excitedly. What reward? Naz asked puzzledly. Nothing. Ning Hao smiled. Quote. Looking at the startled Ning Hao, Naz didn't know what to say. Let's go to the gym. Ning Hao said. Quote. You weren't so anxious before. Naz asked puzzledly. Now we are on the ship, it's useless for you to be anxious. Naz continued. That's right. Ning Hao then calmed down. Will the task and sign-in be combined in the future? Ning Hao continued to ask. Yes, Master. Xiao Ling said. You are also very good, the mission rewards are so rich. Ning Hao thought. Passengers, our ship has arrived in Green Ridge City, please disembark. Let's go, let's eat. Ning Hao suggested. Quote. Just now we talked about fighting in the gym, said Natsu. Forget it, let's eat first. Anyway, the reward will not be gone, eating first is the most important thing. The two then found a restaurant with a long queue, but because of the lesson last time, the two asked the people around them for their evaluation first. After queuing for several hours, the two entered the restaurant. After ordering the dishes, the two chatted. Kurakawa Z and the others are collecting badges, and they will meet us in the battle development area. Ning Hao said. Okay, it's a pity that I didn't have the chance to fight them last time. Natsu said, his expression couldn't help but be a little excited. Anyway, everyone knows him and doesn't care about the number of people. Let's go to the gym. The two patted their bellies and said. Yeah, but to be honest, the food here is really good. Ning Hao said. Yeah, better than what you cook. Natsu said. Better than what I cook. I haven't mastered advanced cooking for a long time, but it doesn't affect me because I'm too lazy to cook. Ning Hao thought. Although cooking is a good tool for picking up girls, he is 11 years old and has the will but not the ability. No more talking, let's go to the gym. Ning Hao said, and then pulled Natsu away. Master Zhaofeng, Master Xiaonan, we are here to challenge the gym. Ning Hao shouted at the door of the gym. Come in. A pair of twins opened the door of the gym and said. The rule here is doubles. The twins said. Okay, I'll go first. Natsu said. Go on, Moonstone, Sunrock. Moonstone, Sunrock. Then I will also use Moonstone and Sunrock. Natsu said, looking at the Pokémon of the two gym masters. Then two pairs of identical Pokémon appeared on the field. Natsu's Pokémon not only had an advantage in level, but also in combat experience, and won the victory easily. Then Ning Hao won easily with Melodic and Pikachu. This is your heart badge, please accept it. Congratulations to the master for completing the sign-in task and getting rewards. Points 1000, God level lottery 1. Thank you. Natsu and Ning Hao thanked, and then left the gym. With their current strength, challenging the gym is simply a piece of cake. Just one drop badge is missing, but I seem to have heard that the owner of the glass gym is Mr. Mikuli. Natsu said. It seems to be Mikuli at this time. Ning Hao thought that Mikuli also gave the position of gym leader to his master after he succeeded the champion. Let's go to Mr. Daigo's house first. Ning Hao suggested. Daigo had mentioned to Ning Hao before that he must go to his house to find him when he arrived in Green Ridge City. He has a home here. Natsu asked in confusion. Well, Prince Dewan, isn't it normal to have a home here? Ning Hao asked back. That's right, he is powerful and has a deep background. This is something that many people envy. Natsu sighed. Let's go and find him. Are you home, Mr. Daigo? Ning Hao asked at the door. I'm here. Then Daigo, dressed in formal clothes, opened the door. It's you. Daigo said in surprise. Well, I just came to Green Ridge City to challenge the gym. Ning Hao said. Come in. I just came back from the league meeting. Daigo said and asked the servant to prepare tea for the two. Well, is it about the lava team and the ocean team? Ning Hao asked curiously. Well, now they have turned over a new leaf and are working for the alliance to develop devices. Dao said. They turned over a new leaf. Why? Ning Hao continued to ask. They were hit too hard by you. Daiwu looked at Ning Hao and said. You fulfilled their lifelong dreams in an instant. Daiwu continued. That's right. Ning Hao couldn't help but sigh that life is unpredictable, and the bad guys suddenly became good. Then are you going to challenge Mikuli next? Daiwu asked curiously. It's Mikuli. The two who heard this confirmed their previous guess. Well, we are going to get the water drop badge. Ning Hao said. Well, Daigo didn't say anything else. As long as Mikuli didn't go all out, it would be easy for the two to get the badge. After staying at Daigo's house for a while, the two left and went to the Happy Game City. After all, few men can resist the temptation of the Game City. Ning Hao once again showed his black hole attribute in the game. He stayed in the Game City for a day and never won once. I'm a dog if I come to the Game City again. Ning Hao once again felt the malice of the Game City. Ha ha ha, don't say it. Next time you go to the Game City, you should still walk in happily without any hesitation. Naz said on the side. Let's eat. I'm hungry from playing games. Ning Hao said. Well, I lost all afternoon, and I should be hungry. Naz said. Then the two went to the restaurant, and Ning Hao turned his grief and anger into appetite. Let's go to the Green Ridge Universe Center later. Naz suggested. Okay. Ning Hao responded. After finishing the meal, the two set off for the Green Ridge Universe Center. Drive Solans, it's you. Ning Hao and Naz met Dr. Solans at the gate of the Green Ridge Universe Center. Yes, it's you. Dr. Solans recognized the two as Daigo's friends. Well, we just came to the Green Ridge Universe Center to take a look. Ning Hao said. Well, then come in with me. Dr. Solans took the two into the Green Ridge Universe Center. Looking at the heavily guarded gate, the two were glad to meet Dr. Solans, otherwise they might have made a wasted trip. Follow me, don't run around, the control here is very strict. Dr. Solans said to the two. Okay. The wormhole meteorite is located here. This is where the wormhole meteorite is. Dr. Solans took the two to some open places, but avoided the research site of the space splitter because it was a top secret. Since most of the places in the Green Ridge Universe Center are confidential places, Dr. Solans took them around. It was also seen that it was not convenient for Dr. Solans to take them forward, so Ning Hao and Naz proposed the idea of leaving. Drive Solans, we'll leave first. Ning Hao said. Okay, I'll take you there. Dr. Solans said. This Green Ridge Universe Center is really mysterious. Naz said. Well, it's really mysterious. Ning Hao recalled the research on Rayquaza and the idea of the Pokémon Association to capture Rayquaza, but now that Rayquaza has become his partner, he can't give them this opportunity. Let's go, there's nothing good to stay here. Ning Hao said and left. Ning Hao and Natsu returned to the hotel and planned to set off directly to Luli City. After a day on the water, we finally arrived. Ning Hao stretched and said slowly. Yeah, let's eat first, I'm starving. But this city is really beautiful. Natsu continued. Well, it's really beautiful. Ning Hao recalled that this city was almost destroyed by the battle between Groudon and Kyogre. I wonder what the awakening temple here is for. Ning Hao continued to think. But I heard that Luli City has abundant natural energy. I guess Kyogre and Groudon will like it very much. But if we release them, they will be hunted down by Mikuli. Machado is out for dinner. Ning Hao stepped on the shadow and saw Machado slowly appearing. Now Machado followed him to eat in the name of protecting the Rainbow Warrior. After all, the energy cube of the Rainbow Warrior was too delicious. Ning Hao put Mew, Jirachi and Machado into the system space. It was too ostentatious to eat outside. After putting the 3 Pokémon back into the space, Ning Hao and Natsu came to the place to eat. Let's go to Luli Gym. Ning Hao said to Natsu after eating. Yeah. After paying the bill, the two set off for Luli Gym. Trigger the sign-in task. Get the water drop badge at the Luli Gym. Reward, God level lottery 1, points 1000. Is this the only reward for challenging Mikuli? Ning Hao asked. He won't use the main team to fight you, this reward is already quite good. Xiao Ling rolled her eyes at Ning Hao. That's right, if he uses the main team, this reward will be several dozen times higher, but Charizard, Gengar, Bulbasaur, and Dragonite are all receiving inheritance, and Gyarados and Absol don't know how to break through. I can't beat his main force without the mythical beasts. Ning Hao thought, and asked Professor Oak before, but unfortunately Professor Oak told him that he had to figure it out by himself. Others of the same age are still worrying about how to get the badge, while Ning Hao is indeed worrying about how to break through the champion. Sure enough, people's physiques are different. Mr. Mikuli, we are here to challenge the gym. Ning Hao knocked on the gym's door. It's you. Mikuli recognized the two's voices. Come in. Mikuli led the two into the gym. Why don't I just give you the badges? Anyway, I know your strength. I can't beat you with the Pokémon given by the Alliance, and you can't beat me with the main team. Mikuli said. He was right. The gym was originally used to train newcomers. Except for a few novice gym leaders, other gym leaders would not use their main forces to fight. I still have a legendary beast. Ning Hao said meanly. Legendary beasts are not allowed to participate in gym battles. Mikuli said. How could there be such a rule? How come I don't know? Ning Hao asked in astonishment. I added it, especially for you. Mikuli smiled. Other novice trainers don't have legendary beasts. The rules of this Caillou conference have also been changed for you. Legendary beasts are not allowed to participate. Mikuli continued. It's okay. Anyway, I didn't have the idea of using legendary beasts. Ning Hao responded. Xiao Ling, it's not against the rules for Mikuli to give me the badge directly, right? Ning Hao asked. It's not against the rules. As long as you get the badge in the gym, it doesn't matter what method you use, even if you sacrifice yourself. Xiao Ling said. Sacrifice yourself. Get lost. Ning Hao said speechlessly. Thank you very much, Gym Master Mikuli. Ning Hao said. Don't be so polite, just call me Mikuli, you're the great hero who saved the Hoenn region. Mikuli smiled, and then handed the badge to the two. Congratulations to the master for completing the sign-in task and getting the reward. God level lottery 1, points 1000. Yes. This is your first time in Luli City, how about I take you around? Mikuli continued to ask. Is it convenient? You don't have to stay in the gym. Ning Hao asked. It's okay, I'm about to take over the championship position, and the gym master position has been returned to my master. Mikuli said. Well, take us around. Ning Hao said. Who are those two? Why is Master Mikuli with them? I don't know him. I don't know where he came from. But that little brother is so handsome and looks familiar. Looks familiar. Now that you mention it, I seem to have seen him somewhere. I remember. They were sitting next to Master Mikuli at the gorgeous competition in Shujing City. Ah. Now that you mention it, I remember that he is the popular singing god. Then several young ladies walked towards Mikuli and the others. Mikuli thought it was his fans again and immediately said, "This should be my fans." Wait a minute. You want autographs? Before Mikuli finished speaking, several young ladies passed him and walked straight towards Ning Hao. Singing god, can I get an autograph from you? The fan lady asked. Mikuli's hands froze and his words stopped abruptly. Okay. After that, Ning Hao signed autographs for several fans. Thank you, Mr. Mikuli, we will come to you for autographs next time. After that, several fans left quickly. Ha ha ha. Natsu couldn't help laughing on the side. Quote. Let's go, I'll take you around. Mikuli said speechlessly. This is the best restaurant in Luli City. Mikuli took the two to the restaurant in the city center. The environment here is really good. Then the three of them found a place to sit down. After ordering the dishes, the three of them started chatting. Have you collected all the badges? Yeah. Your water drop badge happens to be the last one. Quote. The two of them were very busy. Do you need me to register for the Caillou conference? Mikuli asked. Yes, of course. Okay. When the time comes, you can fill in the participating Pokémon on the form, and I will submit it to the league for you. Mikuli said. Thank you then. You're welcome, so what are your plans next? Mikuli continued to ask. We plan to go to the battle frontier to practice. Ning Hao said. Well, that's a good place. Many people who are preparing to participate in the Caillou conference will be there. You can also see if there are any masters worth paying attention to. Mikuli said. Well, that's what we plan to do. After dinner, Mikuli took the two to the Awakening Temple. Let's make a promise first, don't let Groudon and Kyogre out. When arriving at the gate of the Awakening Temple, Mikuli remembered the Groudon and Kyogre on Ning Hao and said hurriedly. Don't worry, I won't let them out. Ning Hao replied hurriedly. After hearing Ning Hao's assurance, Mikuli dared to take the two into the Awakening Temple. Is the natural energy here sufficient? Ning Hao asked curiously, and then released the power of wave guidance, but Ning Hao didn't feel any difference. Xiao Ling, do you have the Sage mode here? Ning Hao suddenly asked. Quote. I'm the elf sign in system, not the Naruto sign in system. Xiao Ling looked at Ning Hao speechlessly. He, didn't you say that the natural energy is very sufficient? I just want to ask. Ning Hao said meanly. It's not now, and it won't be in the future. Give up, and even if it is, you don't have chakra. Xiao Ling ignored Ning Hao after saying that. Ning Hao didn't care, he just asked casually. Mikuli took the two of them around the Awakening Temple, and then left together. Is there anywhere else you want to go? Mikuli asked. There's nowhere else I want to go. Ning Hao and Natsu really didn't think of any place they wanted to go, and now they wanted to go to the battle frontier as soon as possible. We want to go to the battle frontier as soon as possible. Ning Hao said. Well, then fill out the form, I'll have someone send you there. There are still 3 months before the Caillou conference, enough time for you to practice. Mikuli said. Thank you very much. Then Ning Hao and Natsu filled in the Pokémon lineup. Ning Hao chose a lineup of Swampert, Tyrannosaurus, Blaziken, Pikachu, Melodic and Leaf King. Natsu's lineup was Gardevoir, Moonstone, Sunrock, Lizard King, Carinchi and Parasaurolophus. When seeing that Ning Hao had the King of Leaf in his registration list, Mikuli was a little curious. Why did you choose the King of Leaf? Although it is powerful, it spends most of its time sleeping. Don't ask for 5 volts 6. Mikuli said. It's okay. My King of Leaf is very special. It can even be said to be my trump card. Ning Hao said confidently. Well, then I'm a little curious. Mikoki said. Ha ha ha, don't worry, you will see it at the Caillou conference. Ning Hao laughed. Well, then I'll wait and see. Mikuli said. The ship is here, you go first. Mikuli answered a phone call and said to the two. Thank you very much. See you at the Caillou conference. Champion Mikuli. Ning Hao said. Ha ha ha, I'm not the champion yet. Mikuli shook his head and said. Alas, I'm finally back here. Feeling the familiar soil, the two said in unison. Rest today and start training tomorrow. The main team of the Caillou conference has not yet reached the peak of the gym. Ning Hao plans to make them reach the peak of the gym or even the king level in these 3 months. Ning Hao and Naz then came to the hotel. What they didn't know was that when they just landed, the news of the return of the two evils spread. The next day, when the two came to the battle site, they heard the whispers of people around them. The two evils are back. I heard the news yesterday, but I didn't expect it to be true. There are too many public opinions of this kind, which made the two of them a little embarrassed. I didn't expect these people to still remember us during our absence. Naz said. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect it either. Ning Hao laughed. Stay here for a few days and then go to a more advanced battle site. Ning Hao said. Yes, challenging stronger trainers can make you stronger faster. Natsu said. Ning Hao plans to let Pikachu, Leaf King, Flame Chicken and Melodic level up in the next few days to make the levels of the team closer. Go ahead, Melodic, use Charming Voice. Dragonfly uses Hold and then uses Thunder Punch to counterattack. I've been waiting for your move, Melodic, use Freeze Beam. It's too late, Dragonfly uses Hold On. Dragonfly almost lost its combat effectiveness after suffering a hit from the Freeze Beam, but it stayed on the battlefield with the Hold On move. Dragonfly uses Sandstorm. Mienshao, use Freeze Wind to end it. And after Freeze Wind, Dragonfly lost its combat effectiveness. Come back, Desert Dragonfly. Go, Boscadora. Boscadora with the Sandstorm weather is a huge boost for it, but it is restrained by the water system without Mega Evolution. Ning Hao thought. Mienshao uses Water Cannon. Boscadora uses Iron Tail. Mienshao uses Protect and then Water Wave. Boscadora retreats and uses Protect as well. The two Pokémon exchanged attacks but were blocked by the other side. Mienshao continues to use Water Wave. Boscadora uses Iron Tail again. Both Pokémon were knocked away by the other side's attack, but Boscadora relied on the Sandstorm to increase its special defense so it did not suffer much damage. Instead, the delicate Mienshao was seriously injured by this heavy blow. Mienshao uses self-regeneration. Ning Hao chose to let Mienshao recover, otherwise it would probably be eliminated in this round. Don't give it a chance, Boscadora. Use Iron Tail to finish it off. Unfortunately, Melodic has become very familiar with this move, and it is several times faster than other Melodic in using it. Why is it so fast? The trainer on the other side said in surprise. Mienshao uses Water Cannon. This time, Boscadora was caught off guard and was hit by Water Cannon head-on. The power of Water Cannon was far different from the previous Water Wave, and it killed Boscadora instantly. Come back, Boscadora. Come on, Lizard King. The old man was very happy. Pokémon. Lizard King. Level. 58. Gender. Male. Attribute. Grass. Classification. Jungle Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Lush. Personality. Innocent. Skills. Slash, Drain, Leaf Blade. This is not something that the current Melodic can handle. Ning Hao thought. Come back Melodic, go Blaziken. Let's have a showdown between the three starters. Ning Hao said. Okay. The local trainers were also excited. Forest King uses Leaf Blade. Blazer uses Jet Flame. Forest King is incredibly fast, but its special defense is its weakness. Blazer's acceleration makes it as fast as Lizard King, or even faster. Lizard King uses Guard. Lizard King gave up attacking and used Guard to block Blazer's Jet Flame. Blazer uses Big Word Explosion. Lizard King uses Super Drain. The Fire attribute has too much restraint on the Grass attribute. Even though Super Drain recovered a little, Lizard King was still seriously injured. Lizard King uses Ultimate Drain. Blazer uses Flame Kick. Although Ultimate Drain is powerful, it is restrained by Fire attribute, so it has little effect. Come back, Lizard King. The local trainer admitted defeat. I am not your opponent, you are indeed a pair of Pokémon. Quote. You are also very strong, my Blaziken just has an attribute advantage. Ning Hao said, this is also true, if Swampert is allowed to play, it will probably be killed instantly under the fourfold restraint. Ning Hao has experienced no less than 100 battles in the battle area, and the levels of Pikachu and others are also slowly increasing. Swampert and Tyranitar have reached level 57, while other Pokémon are around level 53 to 55. Ning Hao and then stayed in the primary battle area for 2 more days. Let's go to the advanced battle area. Ning Hao said. Let's go, there is nothing to linger here. Natsu replied. The two set off for the advanced battle area. The 2 Pokémon have left. A trainer in the primary battle area spread the news. Really? It's true. I saw them heading to the advanced battle area this morning. Ha ha ha, then we can enjoy the battle to our heart's content. Ning Hao and Natsu naturally didn't know the joy their departure brought to these people. After all, they had experienced hundreds of battles in less than a week, which was enough to show how crazy they were. Stay here for a few days and challenge those pioneering minds. Ning Hao suggested. Yeah, sure. Natsu also thought it was a good idea. Ning Hao selected a trainer who specialized in water attributes and challenged him. Hello, I want to fight you. Ning Hao invited. Come on. After saying that, the trainer took Ning Hao to the battle arena. Come out, Skyla. Pokémon. Skyla. Level. 56. Gender. Male. Attribute. Water. Classification. Rogue Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Super Strength Claw. Personality. Brave. Skills. Sneak Attack, Bubble Beam, Water Gun. Come on, Pikachu. Skyla uses Sneak Attack. Pikachu uses 100,000 volts. 100,000 volts caused a lot of damage to Skyla, and Pikachu was also hit by the Sneak Attack. Perhaps it was because of the special training of Gengar and the others that Pikachu was not affected by this injury. Pikachu uses Thunder. Skyla uses Crushing. The power of Thunder exceeded the expectations of everyone present, and Skyla was killed instantly. Is this still Pikachu? Why is this Pikachu so strong? The audience in the audience discussed. In their minds, Pikachu is not strong and can even be said to be a little weak. After all, it has an evolutionary form. Come back, Crawfish. Go, Golduck. Pokémon. Golduck. Level. 57. Gender. Male. Attribute. Water. Classification. Duck Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Features. Moisture. Personality. Timid. Skills. Water Jet, Telekinesis, Water Gun. Pikachu uses 100,000 volts. Godduck uses Guard. The trainer on the other side also secretly complained. He only had water attribute Pokémon, so he was targeted by Pikachu, and not everyone is a master of reverse attributes. Pikachu, continue to use 100,000 volts. Godduck uses Telekinesis. Poor Godduck was electrocuted by Pikachu and ran around everywhere. Come back, Godduck. I give up. Your electric attribute Pokémon restrains me too much. If it was an ordinary Pikachu, it would be fine, but your Pikachu is a little special. The local trainer looked at Ning Hao with a strange look on his face, probably wanting to know how this Pikachu was cultivated. Why is it a little perverted? Come back, Pikachu. Natsu also chose a trainer who specializes in water attributes. Go, Lizard King. Go, Jellyfish. Pokémon. Jellyfish. Level. 55. Gender. Male. Attribute. Water. Classification. Jellyfish Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Eternal Purity. Personality. Innocent. Skills. Poison Needle, Dissolving Liquid, Water Wave. Lizard King uses Leaf Blade. Jellyfish uses Poison Needle. Although the attribute does not restrain Jellyfish, Lizard King Kai relied on his own powerful attack power to injure Jellyfish. The Poison Needle, as an attack to restrain Lizard King, successfully injured Lizard King. Lizard King uses Super Absorption. Jellyfish uses Dissolving Liquid. The dissolving liquid caused considerable damage to Lizard King, but Lizard King slowly recovered with Super Absorption. Lizard King continues to use Super Drain. Stinger uses Poison Attack. Natsu chose to let Lizard King fight a protracted battle, while the local trainers were anxious and started to use powerful moves directly. Lizard King uses Ultimate Drain. Stinger uses Sludge Wave. Stinger, whose condition was already poor, was killed instantly by Ultimate Drain, but Lizard King's condition was not restored to its peak due to the Sludge Wave. Come back, Stinger. Go, Catfish. Pokémon. Catfish. Level. 57. Gender. Male. Attribute. Water Ground. Classification. Whisker Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Features. Slow. Personality. Naive. Skills. Hiccup, Mind Hammer, Water Gun. Natsu was confused by the opponent's operation. Catfish King was restrained by 4 times in attributes, and he didn't know why he sent it out. Lizard King uses Super Drain. Catfish King uses Hold. The Catfish King was so angry that he was beaten. Catfish King continued to use Burp. The horrible smell instantly turned Lizard King's face green, as if its face was originally green, but it was still severely injured. Lizard King retreated and used Ultimate Absorption. Natsu said hurriedly. Fortunately, Catfish King's burp did not kill Lizard King instantly, otherwise he would have been thinking about what Pokemon to shoot. What a pity, it didn't kill it instantly. The enemy trainer said with regret. After all, this was the only chance. Now Natsu was already prepared, and Catfish King would only be killed instantly under the attribute restraint. Sure enough, Catfish King was killed instantly by super absorption, and it also contributed half of the state to Lizard King. Come back, Catfish King. Go, Ancient Coelacanth. Pokemon, Ancient Coelacanth. Level, 58. Gender, Male. Attribute, Water, Rock. Classification, Long-lived Pokemon. Qualification, Gym. Feature, Hard Head. Personality, Stubborn. Skills, Double-Edged Headbutt, Self-Sacrifice Charge, Water Gun. It seems that he really has no other Pokemon with other attributes. Natsu thought. Ancient Coelacanth uses Self-Sacrifice Charge. Lizard King uses Super Drain. Self-Sacrifice Charge caused damage to Lizard King, but unfortunately it was recovered by Lizard King using Super Drain. Alas, there is no way to fight. The enemy trainer sighed and said. Ancient Coelacanth uses Double-Edged Headbutt. Lizard King uses Ultimate Drain. The power of Double-Edged Headbutt is good, but Lizard King is playing rogue. The final battle ended with the Lizard King in full condition. The two spent a pleasant time fighting. Until Ning Hao met an opponent from the Sinnoh region. Hello, Mr. Ning Hao, can I challenge you? Said Ming Tai, a trainer from Sinnoh. Do you know me? Ning Hao asked curiously. Well, you are very famous in the battle area, and few people don't know you. Ming Tai said. Yeah, that's right. Ning Hao was not at all modest. Let's fight. Go, Scorpio King. Pokemon, Scorpio King. Level, 56. Gender, Male. Attribute, Ground, Flying. Classification, Fang Scorpion Pokemon. Qualification, King. Features, Poison Healing. Personality, Cautious. Skills, Poison Needle, Poisonous Fang, Venom Shock. King level qualification. It's rare. Ning Hao thought. Go ahead, King of Leave. King Scorpio uses Poison Needle. King of Leave uses Split. King Scorpio's Poison Needle successfully poisoned King of Leave, but King Scorpio was also severely injured by King of Leave's powerful attack power. However, King Scorpio wore a highly poisonous gem and successfully activated the poison healing property. King of Leave uses Ultimate Impact. King Scorpio uses Split Tile. Split Tile successfully caused damage to King of Leave, but Ultimate Impact directly caused King Scorpio to lose the battle. Come back, Scorpio. Go, Emperor Nabo. Pokemon, Emperor Nabo. Level, 59. Gender, Male. Attribute, Water, Steel. Classification, Emperor Pokemon. Qualification, King. Feature, Torrent. Personality, Introverted. Skills, Impact, Rockfall, Water Gun. Come back, King of Leave. Go, Swampert. Let's have a battle between the 3 water-type Pokemons. Ming Tai said. Well, come on. Swampert uses Stomp. Emperor Nabo uses Bubble Beam. Swampert still has an advantage in attributes, after all, the ground attribute restrains the steel attribute. King Nabo uses Grass Knot. Swampert uses Earthquake. The Grass Knot of the grass attribute is 4 times more effective against Swampert, but Swampert did not lose its combat effectiveness due to the attribute restraint under the cultivation of Bulbasaur, and it survived the attack, but its condition was not good. On the contrary, Earthquake severely damaged King Nabo. Under the attribute restraint, its current condition is not much different from Swampert. Swampert uses Earthquake again. King Nabo uses Grass Knot again. In the end, the battle ended with both Pokemon perishing together. Come back Swampert. Come back King Nabo. Go Garchomp. Pokemon, Garchomp. Level, 60. Gender, Shang. Attribute, Dragon, ground. Classification. Sonic Pokémon. Qualification. King. Feature. Sandhide. Personality. Stubborn. Skills. Impact, Rockfall, Water Gun. Who is this guy? He has all king-level Pokémon, and even a quasi-god. Ning Hao was very curious about this person's identity. Come out, Dragonite. The quasi-god of Hoenn and the quasi-god of Sinnoh. Mega Evolution Stone. Who is this guy? Obviously, at this point in time, the Kalos League has not announced the news of Mega Evolution. Ning Hao noticed the Mega Evolution Stone carried by Garchomp and couldn't help but think of it. Gargoyle Mega Evolution. Mingtai said. Gargoyle Mega Evolution. Ning Hao followed closely. He actually knows about Mega Evolution. It seems that he also has some special identities, maybe he can. Mingtai thought of something as he looked at the Mega Evolution of Dragonite. Seeing the super evolution of Quasi-God, Ning Hao thought of Dragonite. The first generation of Quasi-God did not get any enhancement. What form is this? Why have I never seen it before? At this time, only a very small number of high-level people knew about super evolution, not to mention those trainers whose strength was not even at the level of the king. Dragonite uses Dragon Claw. Gargoyle also uses Dragon Claw. The two super-evolved Pokémon used Dragon Claw, but unfortunately neither could do anything to the other. Although Garchomp had the advantage in level, Dragonite had experienced a lot of beatings and had trained a body of iron and steel. Gargoyle uses Ultimate Impact. Dragonite uses Ultimate Impact. The two trainers were extremely tacit and chose the same skill again. After a wave of collisions, the two Pokémon froze in place, suffering from the side effects of Ultimate Impact. At this time, Tyranitar moved first. If it attacked at this time, it would most likely severely injure Garchomp, but Ning Hao chose to wait and let the two Pokémon finish the battle in the most fair manner. Gargoyle uses Dragon Claw. Tyranitar uses Dragon Tail. The collision between the tail and the claw did not give either Pokémon an advantage, and then the two Pokémon continued to fight. The battle between the two of them was so exciting. Yes, it was really exciting. These two are much stronger than us. Well, I have no chance of winning against these two Pokémon. Tyranitar uses Sword Dance. Tyranitar uses Dragon Dance. The two of them did not attack in tacit understanding, and both Pokémon suffered the same injuries in the previous attack. The two of them were so excited that they decided to win with this move. Let's have a move to decide the winner and see whether the Sinnoh region's quasi-god is stronger or the Hoenn region's quasi-god is stronger. Mingtai said excitedly. Okay. Ning Hao was also excited at this time. Lyric Shark uses Reverse Scale. Dragon uses Reverse Scale. The two shouted at the same time, deciding to win with this move. The powerful destructive power of the two quasi-gods rolled up a sandstorm. It made it difficult for everyone to see the situation in the field. It has to be said that the dragon type is the only pet, most of the mythical beasts are dragon type, and even most of the quasi-gods are dragon type. The sandstorm gradually dissipated, and the two Pokémon collapsed to the ground. For a while, everyone thought it was a draw. Suddenly, a roar was heard, and Tyranitar struggled to stand up, and Ning Hao's nervous expression gradually turned into relief, while Mingtai showed a disappointed expression. As the battle ended, the audience applauded. Most of the people present were from the Hoenn region. The quasi-god of the Hoenn region won, and everyone felt proud. Come back, Garchomp. I lost. Mingtai said slowly. You are also very strong. Ning Hao said. After the two finished speaking, they left the ring. Mingtai was also the strongest opponent Ning Hao had ever met in the battlefield. It can even be said that his identity was somewhat special. All of them were at the king level and even had quasi-gods. The game just now was really exciting, and the trainer just now might have a very important identity. Natsu walked over and said. Well, if he participates in the Kaiyu conference, he might be our biggest enemy. Ning Hao said. Ning Hao and Natsu were not affected by Mingtai's appearance. Mingtai, just go to the battle channel. Ning Hao suggested. Well, I didn't have time to challenge last time, so I must not miss it this time. Naz said. The two continued to fight in the battle area, but they did not encounter opponents like Mingtai again. Let's go. Destination, Battle Pipeline. Ning Hao and Naz got up early in the morning and headed for the Battle Pipeline. I don't know how long they walked. A building with the appearance of a rice spoon snake appeared in front of them. Finally here. The two said as they stood in front of the door of the building. Let's go in. Ning Hao said. Yes. Then the two met the maid of the Queen of Water Pipes. The maid asked the two to choose from 3 doors. Let's go to the right. Ning Hao said, and they decided to go together, so that they could take care of each other. Well, let's go. As they said that, the two opened the door on the right. Defeat me, and you can continue to move forward. A young lady dressed as a maid said. Let me do it, tell me the rules. Ning Hao said. This is a 3v3 match. As long as you can win, you can choose one of the 3 doors behind you. Okay, let's get started. Go Pikachu. Go Melodic. After letting Xiao Ling detect, Ning Hao found that this Melodic was at level 46. She should be the gatekeeper responsible for screening the strength of the contestants. Looking at Melodic's level, Ning Hao guessed roughly. After all, if there were no gatekeepers, the plumbing queen would probably be challenged all the time. Pikachu uses electric shock. For Melodic with a huge level gap, Ning Hao chose a weaker skill. He was afraid that Melodic would be electrocuted by a thunderbolt. Maybe other people's Pikachus wouldn't work, but his would definitely work. Mianxiao uses collision. She has very little combat experience. Ning Hao shook his head and thought. From Melodic's reaction and destructive power, Ning Hao could see that although it had experienced a lot of battles, it was a pity that the strength gap was huge, which led to its lack of improvement. Although it was just an ordinary electric shock, Melodic still couldn't withstand it and fainted. This Pikachu is so powerful. The maid-dressed trainer Lizzie said in surprise. Come back Melodic. Go Snake. Snake uses Iron Tail. Pikachu uses Iron Tail. The 2 Pokémon with huge size differences used their tails to attack each other. It was unimaginable that Pikachu's small body burst out with incredible power and directly knocked Snake away. How is it possible? Lizzie was a little unbelievable. If Melodic was restrained by its attributes, then she really didn't know what to say now. Quote. Maybe you should try to go out and gain some experience. There is no bond between you and Pokémon, and you can even say that there is no tacit understanding between you. Ning Hao said. Lizzie was a little speechless after what Ning Hao said. If you stay here all the time, you will only meet trainers whose strength far exceeds yours. You have no way to exert your strength. Only by fighting with trainers of equal strength on the road can you learn from them. Ning Hao continued. Quote. Lizzie didn't say anything, but was thinking about something. Come back, Snake. Lizzie silently took back Snake, but did not choose to continue sending out Pokémon. Thank you. Lizzie suddenly said. She had never regarded Pokémon as a partner, but a tool for trial. Anyway, the enemies she had faced were far stronger than her, which led to her slowly losing interest in establishing a bond with Pokémon. You choose. Lizzie pressed a button and then 3 doors appeared on the wall behind her. You come. I come. Ning Hao asked. You should do it. Natsu said. Well, let's continue to choose the right side. Then the two opened the door on the right, and a pipe appeared in front of them. After walking for a few minutes, the two came to a big door. I am the guardian of the 2nd level. If you beat me, you can choose the door. Another trainer dressed as a maid said. I will do this level. Natsu said. Well, go, Melodic. The maid-dressed trainer Lena also sent Melodic, but compared to Lizzie, her Melodic level is 50. Go, Lizard King. Natsu didn't intend to waste time here and sent out his strongest Lizard King. Mianxiao uses Ice Beam. Lizard King uses Super Absorb. Quote. Lena's combat awareness is obviously higher than Lizzie's, and she is also better at Pokémon training. Mianxiao's Ice Beam is quite powerful, but unfortunately Lizard King dodged it at a very fast speed and severely injured Mianxiao with a Super Drain. Mianxiao, are you okay? Lena asked anxiously. Mianxiao stood up and responded to Lena's question. Mianxiao uses self-regeneration. Lizard King, don't give it a chance, use Ultimate Drain to end it. Lena's Mianxiao is obviously not as proficient as Ning Hao's Mianxiao in terms of moves, and she had no time to avoid Lizard King's attack before she retired gloriously. The two Pokémons fought hard, but the battle was a success. Come back, Melodic, and go, Snake. Quote. Natsu was speechless looking at the same team. They are not using the same Pokémon, are they? Lizard King uses Earthquake. Snake uses Poison Attack. The two Pokémons fought against each other, with Lizard King winning. Although Lena's combat awareness is better than Lizzie's, it is worse than that of an elite trainer. Their Pokémon are in a state of having empty levels but no strength. Come back, Snake. Go, Wandering Night Spirit. Pokémon. Wandering Night Spirit. Level. 51. Gender. Male. Attribute. Ghost. Classification. Waving Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Features. Oppression. Personality. Brave. Skills. Shadow Punch, Shadow Sneak, Scare. Wandering Night Spirit uses Shadow Punch. Lizard King uses Malice Pursuit. The evil attribute has a great restraint on the ghost attribute. Wandering Night Spirit was severely injured by the attack of Lizard King, but it did not lose its combat effectiveness directly. I give up, Lena suddenly said, and then pressed a button. The same three doors appeared. What do you choose this time? Ning Hao asked. Okay, let's go to the left. Natsu said, and then the two pushed open the door on the left, and another pipe appeared in front of them. After the two walked for a few minutes, they opened the door and saw a maid trainer again. Are we so unlucky? Ning Hao and Naz felt that they were not lucky. They had asked before coming. Some people reached the room of the Queen of Water Pipes directly after passing the first guardian, and those with bad luck also met her after the second level. Then I'll do it this time. Ning Hao said. Although the guardian of this level is slightly stronger than the guardian of the first two levels, it's a pity that Ning Hao still took it away easily. Then there were the same three doors, and the same scene behind the door. The two challenged all the way, and the battle pipeline that was originally supposed to end in an hour was extended to half a day. The two didn't know how many battles they had experienced. Can these doors really lead to the Queen of Water Pipes? The two gradually lost confidence. Forget it, let's keep going. You are finally here. After opening the door, the two finally saw the famous Queen of Water Pipes, Xiaoji. Finally. The two couldn't help hugging each other. I've been watching you guys on the surveillance camera for a whole day. You're the only one with such bad luck. You've basically challenged all the gatekeepers. Xiaoji couldn't help but say. Quote. Ning Hao and Natsu were speechless. Let's start the challenge. After a moment of silence, Natsu said. Come on. Xiaoji accepted the challenge. Go, Melodic. Pokémon. Melodic. Level. 58. Gender. Male. Attribute. Water. Classification. Kind Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Features. Competitive. Personality. Bold. Skills. Water waves, charming voice, self-regeneration. Sure enough, they're all the same Pokémon. The two had already forgotten how many Melodic and Flintstones they had met in the afternoon. Go, Lizard King. At this time, Lizard King's face was slightly tired. After all, he had been fighting for a whole morning. Lizard King uses Super Drain. Mienshao uses Ice Beam. The Pipe Queen's Mienshao is not in the same dimension as the Mienshao we met before. Her Mienshao reacts very quickly and has good attack power, causing Lizard King to be injured by Ice Beam, but Lizard King also recovered with Super Drain. Mienshao uses Freezing Wind. Lizard King uses Leaf Blade. After being hit by Freezing Wind, Lizard King's speed gradually slowed down, but Leaf Blade successfully dealt a heavy blow to it after hitting Mienshao. Lizard King uses Ultimate Drain. Mienshao uses Self-Regeneration. Mienshao's speed is very fast, and it successfully recovered before Lizard King hit it, but Ultimate Drain once again seriously injured it. In this way, the two spent time in injury and recovery, but Mienshao's recovery speed has slowly failed to keep up with the speed of injury. Come back, Melodic. Go, Snake. As expected, they are all the same Pokémon. Pokémon. Snake. Level. 59. Opening square bracket. Gender. Male. Attribute. Poison. Classification. Fang Snake Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Shedding. Personality. Brave. Skills. Poison Attack, Bind, Venom Trap. Lizard King uses Earthquake. Fan Spoon uses Screech. Although Lizard King's physical condition is still at its peak, its mental state has long been poor. The Screech makes it feel exhausted, causing the power of Earthquake to be greatly reduced. Fan Spoon uses Poison Attack. The poison attribute attack successfully caused Lizard King, whose defense had already been reduced, to be seriously injured. Lizard King uses ultimate absorption. Fan Spoon doesn't give it a chance, use poison attack to end it. After a poison attack, Lizard King also lost its combat effectiveness. Come back, Lizard King, come out, Gardevoir. Gardevoir uses telekinesis. Snader uses bite. The two Pokémon used each other's attacks to restrain each other, but Gardevoir, with its advantages in attack and racial value, caused good damage to Snader. Snader uses crushing. Gardevoir uses teleport to avoid the attack and then uses Psycho. Gardevoir used teleport, a plug-in-like skill, to avoid Snader's attack, and then used Psycho to severely injure Snader. Snader uses Snake Stare. Gardevoir uses telekinesis to end it. At the last moment, the Queen of Water Plumbing chose to let Snader paralyze the opponent. After all, with Snader's current state, she had no confidence in causing damage to Gardevoir, and could only choose to pave the way for the next Pokémon. Come back, Snake. Go, Kettle. Pokémon. Kettle. Level. 60. Gender. Male. Attribute. Bug Rock. Classification. Fermentation Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Sturdy. Personality. Brave. Skills. Roll, Bug Bite, Stone Attack. Gardevoir uses meditation. Kettle uses Bug Bite. Gardevoir uses meditation to raise its special attack to a higher level, and Kettle's Bug Bite was dodged by it using teleport when it was about to hit Gardevoir. Gardevoir uses Magic Flash. Kettle uses Stone Attack. Gardevoir uses teleport to escape after attacking. Natsu continued. Gardevoir used Magic Flash to hit Kettle and wanted to use teleport to avoid its attack, but it froze in its paralyzed state and was directly hit by Stone Attack. The two of them were seriously injured by the sharp Stone Attack, and Huhu was also seriously injured by the Magic Flash of Gardevoir. The two were in basically the same state. Who would win or lose depended on the last move. Gardevoir, use mental power to end it. Huhu, use Earthquake quickly. Xiaoji did not let Huhu avoid the Magic Flash. After all, Huhu's speed was too slow, and a direct attack might still create a miracle. Gardevoir successfully hit Huhu, and Huhu's Earthquake spread to the surroundings. Gardevoir had nowhere to escape, and both lost their combat effectiveness at the same time. Come back Huhu. Come back Gardevoir. The two took back the Pokémon at the same time, and Natsu won the challenge with a score of 3-2. You win. As for your badge, I'll give it to you after your friends finish the challenge. Xiaoji said, and then he began to restore his Pokémon. Wait a moment, I'll start the battle after I restore my Pokémon. Xiaoji said to Ning Hao. Okay. Then Ning Hao chatted with Natsu while waiting for Xiaoji's Pokémon to recover. I don't know how long it took. Come on, I'm ready. Xiaoji said to Ning Hao. Yeah. Go Pikachu. Go Melodic. Pikachu, 100,000 volts. Mienshao uses Guard and then Dragon Tail. Pikachu, dodge quickly. Unfortunately, Pikachu's 100,000 volts took a lot of time, causing it to miss the best time to dodge and be injured by this attack. Mienshao, use Hot Water quickly, don't give it a chance to breathe. Pikachu, use Lightning Flash to avoid this attack. Pikachu's flexible figure suddenly rushed in one direction and successfully avoided the boiling hot water. Pikachu, continue to use Thunder to attack Mienshao. After avoiding Mienshao's attack, Pikachu quickly used Thunder to attack Mienshao, and Mienshao was hit head-on because he had no time to react. Pikachu's Thunder is a bit weak after all, and I should think of a way to make it stronger. Ning Hao thought, although his Pikachu is good, it is far inferior to Red and Xiaoji's Pikachu. Mienshao can take this attack and use Blizzard. Pikachu, use Lightning Flash quickly to leave its attack range. Pikachu's speed increased again, and he escaped from the attack range of the blizzard with his flexible body, and the direction Pikachu chose was the direction where Mienshao was. Pikachu uses Crazy Volt. Lightning flashed on Pikachu's body, and he rushed towards Melodic at a very high speed. Mienshao uses Freeze Beam. Unfortunately, it was too late. Pikachu came directly in front of Melodic at a very high speed, and then directly crashed into Melodic. Come back Melodic. Come back Pikachu. Looking at the uncomfortable Pikachu, Ning Hao chose to let it come back and use the power of Evergreen to heal it. You are great, Pikachu. Ning Hao touched the Pikachu standing on his shoulder. Pika Pika. Go, Snake. Leave King, you go on the field, and end the battle as soon as possible. Ning Hao chose to let Leave King go, thinking of ending the battle as soon as possible. Snake uses Venom Tail. Snake's tail glowed purple and then hit Leave King fiercely. King of Leave, just grab its tail. King of Leave used his terrifying physical strength to grab the tail of the rice spoon snake. Even though it was full of toxins, King of Leave ignored these frightening toxins. King of Leave, used the chop. The rice spoon snake was caught in King of Leave's left hand at this time, and King of Leave's right hand chopped directly at the rice spoon snake. Although it did not hit the vital part, it almost made the rice spoon snake spit out its snake gall. At this time, the rice spoon snake was half buried in the ground because of King of Leave, and a sandstorm was set off. I will teach them to hit the snake at its weakest point in the future, maybe the power can be doubled. Ning Hao thought. Are you okay, rice spoon snake? Xiao Ji began to worry about the rice spoon snake after seeing the terrifying power of King of Leave. The rice spoon snake struggled to get up, but it can be seen that its condition is very bad at this time. King of Leave, use grab to finish it off. Ning Hao chose the less powerful grab. With the current state of the rice spoon snake, even an ordinary straight punch could defeat it. If he continued to use powerful skills, he might really knock out the snake gall of the rice spoon snake. In the end, King of Leave relied on grab to finish it off. Let the rice spoon snake lose its fighting power. Come back, rice spoon snake. Your Leave King is really scary, and a little warlike, unlike other Leave Kings who are born lazy. I admit defeat, my pot can't be the opponent of the Leave King. Xiao Ji said with a wry smile. The Leave King gave her a great shock. This is your badge. This badge symbolizes luck. Xiao Ji looked at the two with strange eyes, and then couldn't help laughing. Well, extreme bad luck is also a kind of luck. Xiao Ji added. Quote. Ning Hao and Naz didn't say anything but took the badge silently. Xiao Ling, do you have any props to change your luck? Ning Hao couldn't help asking. No. Xiao Ling was very straightforward and answered directly. Oh, okay. Let's go back, I'm almost starving, I've been here for a day. Naz said. Well, let's go back and eat, soothe my young heart. Ning Hao said. Then we'll leave first, bye. When Ning Hao, Naz and Xiao Ji were about to leave after saying goodbye, Xiao Ji suddenly spoke. Well, wait a minute, I want to thank you. Well, why? Ning Hao asked curiously. The gatekeeper of the first level is my sister. I have always hoped that she could go on a trip, but unfortunately she didn't want to. Now you have helped me persuade her, I am very grateful. Xiao Ji said. Well, you're welcome. Ning Hao said. Alas, the two of us stayed in a place where each person can travel for 1 hour for a day. Ning Hao couldn't help but say to Naz after leaving the battle channel. Alas, don't say it, it's so frustrating to think about it. Trigger task. Get all badges, reward, points 100,000, God level lottery 3, task progress, 2/7. Well, the task is released now. Ning Hao looked at Xiao Ling suddenly releasing the task and couldn't help asking. I forgot. Xiao Ling said casually. Forgot. Ning Hao was surprised by this answer. Forget it, just pretend I didn't ask. After returning to the hotel, Ning Hao and Naz went straight to the restaurant. After all, they had been fighting for a whole day, and they thought it was a battle that could be resolved in an hour, so they didn't even bring any food. After dinner, Ning Hao and Naz returned to their respective rooms. What's wrong? At this time, Mengwan was sitting at the head of his bed, looking very bored. So boring. Mengwan said. Where's Jirachi? Where's Machado? Ning Hao asked curiously. They're bored too. Mengwan said. Xiao Ling, can you exchange for mahjong, playing cards and electronic products? Ning Hao asked. Sure. Xiao Ling said and then made a list. Mahjong. 1,000 points. Fully automatic mahjong table. 5,000 points. Poker. 200 points. Mobile phone. 200 points. Tablet. 200 points. So expensive. Ning Hao couldn't help asking. Isn't this a special item? Of course it's more expensive. Then bring 2 sets of mahjong, 2 mahjong tables, 5 decks of poker, 5 mobile phones and 5 tablets. Ning Hao thought that there were still many Pokémon in the system space, so he exchanged more. Okay, a total of 15,000 points, which have been deducted. Now there are 197,000 points left. The items have been stored in the system backpack. Then Ning Hao took out a mahjong set and a mahjong table and placed them in the room, and then waved to Mew, Jirachi and Machado. The three Pokémon floated to his side, looking at the mahjong, not knowing what it was for. I saw you were bored, so I prepared this for you. Hearing that it was prepared for them, the three Pokémon instantly became interested. Machado stayed with these two playful Pokémon for a long time, and was gradually assimilated by them, forgetting his identity as the Phoenix King's messenger. Come on, I'll teach you the rules first. That Mew, use your superpowers to cover the surroundings, don't let the sound get out. After all, it was night, and Ning Hao was still afraid of being complained about, so he asked Mew to make a soundproof cover. Then Mew used superpowers to make a cover to cover them and the mahjong table to prevent the sound from getting out. The three phantom beasts were still very smart and learned it all at once. Then let's officially start. Ning Hao said excitedly. This was his first time playing mahjong. In his previous life, he was an orphan and didn't have many friends. Although it was only a four-person activity, he had never experienced it before. This is why he quickly accepted this fact after crossing. At first, Ning Hao could still win a few games with the experience from the previous life game, but after they became proficient, only Ning Hao lost. Since he was playing Sichuan Mahjong, he basically lost 3 games in the end, while Jirachi with Tian and characteristics kept winning. Ning Hao gradually lost interest, and he called Deoxys to replace him, and let them have a PK between the mythical beasts. Then he called Pikachu and Messenger Bird, and started to teach them how to play Landlord. After winning a few games again with experience, he slowly started to lose. The room now looks like a mahjong hall, with energy cubes of various flavors on the mahjong table. There are also energy cubes of various flavors next to Pikachu and Messenger Bird. After playing for a while, Ning Hao felt sleepy, so he let them go back to the system space to play, and before going in, he threw in a few other decks of cards and mahjong, and let them teach you Pokémon. Mikali can hold his own grand competition. Why don't I hold a Pokémon Mahjong Cup at that time? With Jirachi, it will be a killing spree, hee. Ning Hao thought. Go to sleep, and continue the battle tomorrow. Alas, forget me when you have Mahjong. Mew and Jirachi used to wake him up every morning, but now the two Pokémon are happily playing Mahjong in the space. Ning Hao took a look and found that except for Mewtwo, Lugia, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, and the sleeping Charizard and Venusaur, no Pokémon could be spared. They all joined the Landlord and Mahjong army. The spirit of the 4 mythical beasts is good. They are still very excited after playing for a whole day, and there are 3 yellow mice playing Landlord next to them. Should I give Mewtwo a tablet or mobile phone to play with? Then Ning Hao entered the system space. He could not enter before his birthday. The updated system space not only increased in area, but he could also enter. Come here. Ning Hao waved to several first-level gods. Looking at the huge Kyogre and Groudon, Ning Hao couldn't think of any way to make them play Mahjong or electronic products. Xiao Ling, is there? There is no way to make them smaller or bigger. Ning Hao asked. Master, you can control everything in the system space, including their size. Xiao Ling said. Huh, there is such a function. Let me try it. Ning Hao's eyes lit up, and then he tried to shrink their size. The size of the 3 beasts of Hoenn and Lugia slowly began to shrink. They were a little panicked at first, until Ning Hao told them that he did it, they were relieved. Looking at the small 3 beasts of Hoenn and Lugia, Ning Hao still felt cute for some reason. These tablets are for you to play with. Ning Hao took out the tablet and handed it to the 5 first-level gods, and then began to teach them how to use it. Then the 5 beasts each took the tablet to play. Xiao Ling, can this phone make calls outside? Ning Hao asked. Yes, master. Quote. What if Mewtwo gets into a fight with someone and suddenly takes out his phone to shake his head? That scene, wow. Ning Hao suddenly became interested. He wanted to see Mewtwo or other Pokémon shaking their heads with their phones. In the past, Mew, Jirachi and Machado would surround him, protecting him as the name suggests, but now they are all playing games in the system space. Alas, I'm really alone this time. Ning Hao sighed and said. Let's go, meet up with Natsu first. Let's go, are we going to the battle site today? Ning Hao asked after meeting up with Natsu. Well, where are Jirachi and Mew? Natsu asked. They are addicted to the game, Ning Hao said. Well, Natsu was confused by this answer. Forget it, let's go. After saying that, Ning Hao walked towards the battle site. Along the way, they found that passers-by looked at them with strange eyes, with a little pity in their eyes. Until they met the people they had fought before. What's wrong? Why are people looking at us with such strange eyes? Naz asked in confusion. The news of your battle in the pipeline has spread. You are the only ones who have challenged all the gatekeepers. There is no one before and no one after. Your new title now, people abandoned by the goddess of luck. The man continued to add. The two of them were so angry that they were beaten. Ning Hao and Naz were speechless about the new title. Let's go to the battle dome today to avoid the limelight. Ning Hao said. Well, I'll teach them a lesson in a few days. Naz's eyes were also full of helplessness. Don't say it in front of me, aren't you afraid that I will tell others? The two evils will beat them up. The person who told them the news couldn't help but say. Do you dare? If you dare, let's start with you. He. Ning Hao and Naz accidentally laughed like villains. Forget it, I'll pretend I haven't seen you today. After saying that, he slipped away. Let's challenge the pioneers first in the next few days. Ning Hao said. Well, let's stay out of the spotlight first. I don't know who spread the news. But we are really unlucky, said Natsu. Well, let's go to the dome first. Ning Hao thought of Hills, the pioneering brain in the dome. The Pokémon he used were basically the same as Ning Hao's, Charizard, Tyranitar, and Swampert. I don't know when Charizard will wake up. Ning Hao was a little worried about Charizard. Although they were all receiving inheritance, only Charizard's inheritance was dangerous. I wanted to call Pikachu or Messenger Bird out to go together, but unfortunately they were immersed in Landlord and Mahjong and refused directly. Will they refuse me when we are going to fight later? Then I made a wrong decision and led them astray. Ning Hao thought. Thinking of this, Ning Hao couldn't help but find an excuse to go to the bathroom and see who would fight later. Swampert, Blaziken, you two will fight later. Looking at the two starter Pokémon who were training, Ning Hao said. Hills should be a doubles team, and the two of them are enough. Then Ning Hao looked around again, and saw Mewtwo and the others playing games with tablets on the side. Ning Hao went over to take a look. Oh my god. Ning Hao saw 4 mythical beasts playing in a 4-person team. Huh. Where's Groudon? Ning Hao couldn't help but look around. I saw Groudon constantly trying out skills in a corner, and then opened the tablet to take a look. What is it doing? Ning Hao asked. I don't know. Kyogre replied casually, and then continued to play the game. It's a pity, Mewtwo and Rayquaza, you two can only be 6-finger players. Ning Hao said and then walked towards Groudon. Quote. Mewtwo and Rayquaza were speechless by this sudden sentence. Grow, what are you doing? Ning Hao went over to ask. I'm trying to fly. Groudon said depressedly. Hearing this, Ning Hao picked up the tablet that Groudon had put on the floor. 666. As soon as he opened Qiandu, he saw a series of entries in the historical search, such as, how does Groudon fly? Grow's flight mode. Who is stronger, Groudon or Kyogre? Ning Hao also saw several novels collected by Groudon. Ning Hao glanced at them casually and found that the common point among them was that Groudon could fly. Ha ha ha. It seems that you really want to fly. Ning Hao said. They were playing games in the air yesterday. Groudon said aggrievedly. Ha ha ha. I can't do it anymore. Let me help you think of a way. Ning Hao laughed. Xiao Ling, is there any way to make Groudon fly? Ning Hao asked. As long as Groudon can fully control its own natural energy, it can fly. Xiao Ling said. Are there any other ways? Ning Hao continued to ask. It can also fly by mastering superpowers, but it needs to master very strong superpowers to support its own flight. It can also learn to control gravity to make itself fly, just like the Tsuchikage Onoki in Naruto. If it doesn't work, you can also buy him a bamboo dragonfly or wings. Xiao Ling continued. I suggest you buy a bamboo dragonfly first to let it experience the feeling of flying. Then let's get a bamboo dragonfly. But can the bamboo dragonfly carry it? Ning Hao asked when he thought of Groudon's weight. Yes, but it has to be in the system space. In the system space, you can control its weight and size. Once you go out, it will return to its original state, so you can exchange it for a gravity spell for it to learn. As for natural energy, forget it. This big fool is smart enough. Xiao Ling said. Quote. The three fools of Hoenn are truly worthy of their name. Let's get a bamboo dragonfly first, and talk about gravity spells in the evening, Natsu. I guess I've been waiting for a long time. Okay, I'll deduct 1,000 points. Xiao Ling said. Oh my god. So expensive. Ning Hao said after hearing the price. There's no other way. We have to smuggle it from the Doraemon world, so we have to charge more for shipping. Xiao Ling said. What the hell is the shipping fee? Forget it, you give it to it, I'll go out first. Ning Hao left the system space and came to the independent private room of the toilet. What took you so long? Natsu asked. I have diarrhea. Ning Hao made up an excuse. Well, let's go. Mr. Hills, we are here to challenge you. Ning Hao said. The battle dome here is different from the game. You don't need to go through many rounds of challenges, but you can directly invite Hills to fight. Okay, my fighting method here is doubles battle. Hills said. Well, come on. Quote. Come on, Argent, Swampert. Pokémon. Argent. Level. 58. Gender. Male. Attribute. Fire. Classification. Legendary Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Fire starter. Personality. Stubborn. Skills. Flame jet, flame burst, speed. A fusion of water and fire. Then I'll also have a fusion of water and fire. Come out, Swampert, Blaziken. Ning Hao said as he looked at the Pokémon sent out by Hills. Swampert uses Mud Shot on Blaziken, and Argent also uses speed to attack Blaziken. Hills decided to get rid of Blaziken first and then let them work together to deal with Swampert. Swampert uses Hold to block Mud Shot, and Blaziken gives up resistance and uses close combat on Argent. Quote. Swampert stood in front of Blaziken and summoned a purple barrier to block the mud shooting for it, while Blaziken gave up all resistance and started a close combat with the attacking Windy Dog. Seeing that Blaziken was gradually gaining the upper hand, Hills immediately said, Windy Dog has withdrawn. Swampert uses Water Gun on Blaziken to prevent it from pursuing. Don't chase Blaziken, get out of Swampert's attack range first. At this time, Blaziken's defense was greatly reduced, and even a water gun could cause it huge damage. Swampert uses Screech on Swampert. Blaziken uses Sunny Day. The weather was very hot, but the weather was very hot. Sunny. Why would you use such a skill? Hills was confused by Ning Hao's operation, but he still chose to interrupt Blaziken's spell. Swampert, use the water gun to interrupt Blaziken. Windy Dog uses high-speed movement. Swampert, stand in front of Blaziken. Swampert's water wave rushed towards Blaziken, and Ning Hao's Swampert directly blocked it with his body. Windy Dog on the side took the opportunity to use high-speed movement to increase himself. At this time, Blaziken had completed the control of the weather. As soon as the sunny day came, Ning Hao was about to end the battle. It's time, Swampert, use water cannon on Windy Dog. Swampert, use guard in front of Windy Dog. Swampert's water cannon condensed very quickly and rushed straight to Windy Dog, but Hills Swampert also reacted quickly and directly blocked in front of the high-speed moving Fan Dog. I've been waiting for you to do this. Blaziken uses Solar Beam on Swampert. Ning Haoyan laughed. Swampert, get out of the way. Hills didn't have time to think of any moves and could only let Swampert get out of the way. Because it was a sunny day, Blaziken saved the time to gather energy, and the green light ball instantly gathered at its mouth. Blazer, let Solar Beam bloom. Unfortunately, after Swampert's guard was shattered by the water cannon, it was too late to avoid the Solar Beam. The Solar Beam directly hit Swampert and knocked it out, and the powerful destructive power made it lose its combat effectiveness directly. Arcane uses super speed to attack Flame. Although Flame's speed is increasing due to its acceleration characteristics, it is still not as fast as Arcane, which uses high-speed movement. Swampert uses Water Cannon directly in the direction of Flame. Flame uses Megaton Punch directly in front of you. Arcane's super speed, coupled with high-speed movement, reached Flame's front at a speed that was almost invisible to the naked eye. Arcane, retreat quickly and give up the attack. Hills heard Ning Hao's words and directly let Arcane give up the attack. Unfortunately, due to the speed and inertia, Arcane was completely unable to turn around or change direction, and was directly hit by Water Cannon and Megaton Punch. After being knocked away, Arcane screamed and fainted. Yuan, your tactics are very exciting and worthy of this tactical badge. Hills said. But I really didn't expect your flame to learn skills like Solar Beam. Hills continued. Well, it learned it by chance, and if it weren't for this move, this battle would probably last a long time. Ning Hao said. Well, I'll let them recover before fighting your friend. Hills said to the two, and then began to restore the physical strength of the two Pokémon. The tactics just now were pretty good. Natsu walked over and said. Hills didn't expect that Flame Chicken would actually use Solar Beam, so he was careless, otherwise this battle would probably last a long time. Ning Hao replied. Let's get started. After Ning Hao and Natsu chatted for a while, Hills came over. Well, Natsu said. Go, Lizard King, Gardevoir. Go, Swampert, Windy Dog. Lizard King uses Energy Ball to attack Swampert, Gardevoir uses Freezing Wind to assist it. Swampert uses Protect. Windy Dog uses Speed to attack Gardevoir. The four Pokémon quickly took action. Lizard King condensed a green energy ball in front of him, while Gardevoir used Freezing Wind to try to limit the speed of Swampert and Windy Dog. Swampert's Protect was originally intended to resist the energy ball, but unfortunately Gardevoir's Freezing Wind hit the purple barrier first and shattered it. The energy ball hit Swampert and knocked it away, but Swampert might have been prepared. It stood firmly by the inertia after being knocked away, avoiding the secondary trauma of hitting the ground. The light flashed, Gardevoir disappeared on the spot, and Windy Dog also lost its target and froze on the spot. Well done, Gardevoir. Natsu shouted excitedly as Gardevoir used teleportation to dodge the attack. Lizard King, use Ultimate Drain on Swampert, Gardevoir, use Hypnosis on Argent. Swampert, use Freezing Wind to attack Lizard King, Argent, don't fall asleep. Cheer up. Hills shouted as Argent was gradually slowing down, but unfortunately Argent had already fallen asleep. The temperature around Lizard King suddenly changed, freezing it directly. Lizard King, give up attacking Swampert and use Stomp on Argent. Looking at Argent who was in deep sleep, Natsu decisively gave up Swampert and attacked the immobile target instead. Lizard King's speed dropped sharply due to the frozen wind, but it was still easy to attack this fixed target. Swimmer, get in front of Argent, and use Guard. Gardevoir uses Dream Eater on Argent. Swampert's Guard can only resist one attack after all. After resisting Lizard King's Stomp, the barrier broke because it reached its limit, and Dream Eater also hit Argent. After a roar, Argent began to use Jet Flame on Gardevoir because of sleep talk, but Argent did not aim at the target because of sleeping, so Gardevoir escaped the attack with teleportation. Lizard King continues to use Stomp on Windy Dog. Gardevoir uses Guard to block Swampert's next attack. Natsu decided to defeat Windy Dog first, so he set his target on Windy Dog again. Swampert, use Ice Beam to attack Lizard King directly. Gardevoir teleported to Lizard King, waved his hand and summoned a purple barrier to block the Ice Beam. At this time, Gardevoir was already breathing heavily. The continuous guard and teleport had caused great consumption to it. Lizard King, use Stomp to end Windy Dog. Natsu shouted. Lizard King, who was already beside Windy Dog, raised his legs again and stepped on Windy Dog. Swampert wanted to stop it but it was too late. In the end, Windy Dog lost its combat effectiveness in its sleep. Swampert uses Ice Beam on Lizard King. While Lizard King was using Stomp, Swampert attacked it. Garvado uses Energy Ball on Swampert while it's attacking Lizard King. Swampert is now unable to resist and can only take the blow head-on. After experiencing 2 energy balls, Swampert is no longer in good condition. Lizard King was also seriously injured by the Ice Beam, but fortunately he still has the strength to fight. End it, use Energy Ball at the same time. The 2 green energy balls instantly hit Swampert and sent him flying, leaving a graceful figure in the air. Come back, Swampert. You won. The cooperation between Lizard King and Gardevoir is really good. Hills praised. This is your tactical badge. Hills handed a badge to Natsu. Thank you. He took the badge and thanked Hills. Go back. Or go directly to the next battle facility. Ning Hao asked. It's still early now. Let's go to the battle factory. It's quite close here. Natsu suggested. Okay. The two walked for a while and arrived at the battle factory. As soon as they walked in, they saw many Pokémon. Huh. Articuno. Natsu suddenly shouted. Ning Hao looked in the direction of Natsu and saw only an Articuno resting. Pokémon. Articuno. Level. 60. Gender. None. Attribute. Ice flying. Classification. Ice Pokémon. Qualification. King. Feature. Oppression. Personality. Bold. Skills. Ice beam, white mist, water wave. This is the first time Ning Hao has met the three sacred birds. As the first generation of Pokémon, he actually saw them in the Hoenn region. Mr. Dara, we are here to challenge the battle factory. Ning Hao said. Well, you pick 3 Pokémon you want to challenge. Dara said. After looking around, Ning Hao finally chose Articuno, Bulbasaur and Charizard. Natsu also chose Articuno, but the difference was that he chose Strange and Golduck for the other 2. I'll go first. Ning Hao said. Well, go Charizard. Go Swampert. Swampert uses Water Wave. Charizard uses Dig Hole to avoid its attack. Charizard went directly into the ground, and Swampert's Water Wave also lost its target. Huh. Swampert uses Turbidity Stream to cover your surroundings. Just as Swampert was moving, Charizard emerged from the ground and attacked Swampert, but unfortunately Swampert was very fast and dodged Charizard's attack with a backward jump. Is Swampert so agile? Dara was stunned to see the agile Swampert, and at the same time Swampert's Turbidity Stream was ready, hitting Charizard directly and knocking it out. Ha ha ha. Ning Hao couldn't help laughing when he saw Swampert jumping back. He knew that this should be muscle memory trained, otherwise it would be impossible to be so flexible with Swampert's speed value of 60. Charmer uses shouting. Swampert uses bodybuilding. A shouting Charmer and opposing Swampert on the side, the scene was very harmonious for a while. Swampert uses waterfall climbing. Charmer uses digging holes again to avoid. The speed of waterfall climbing was slower after all, and the Charmer successfully escaped. Swampert, pour water into the hole. Ning Hao thought of this vicious move. Swampert used water guns frantically at the entrance of the cave. Although it would not cause too much damage to the Charmer, it would at least make it uncomfortable. With a loud bang, the Charmer with steam on his body appeared in the venue and directly hit the Swampert. Swampert, jump up and use water gun. Swampert jumped up the moment Charizard appeared, then opened its mouth and used water gun on Charizard. Due to inertia, Charizard was in the air after it came out, and had no chance to dodge the attack. It was directly hit back into the cave and then fainted. Come back, Charizard. Go, Bulbasaur. Looking at Bulbasaur on the field, Ning Hao began to hesitate whether to replace Swampert. After all, the 4-fold restraint was too uncomfortable. Perhaps seeing Ning Hao's hesitation, Swampert said, I can do it. Okay, Swampert, then you continue to fight. Ning Hao was also ignited by Swampert's fighting spirit. Swampert pull away and use Frozen Wind. Bulbasaur's grass-type restraint on Swampert was too great, so Ning Hao decided to pull away to avoid being killed instantly by the grass-type skills. Bulbasaur uses Parasite Seed directly. Bulbasaur's speed is too slow, so Dara didn't let it dodge but used Parasite Seed instead. Swampert, get out of the way. Unfortunately, Parasite Seed is too fast and directly attached to Swampert. Swampert uses Ice Freeze Beam. Quote. Now Swampert is possessed by the parasitic seed, and its strength is gradually fading. Ning Hao can only choose to let it end the battle as soon as possible. Bulbasaur uses Hold and then uses Ultimate Absorb. After the freeze beam shattered the barrier, it was powerless and did not cause any damage to Bulbasaur. I'm afraid Swampert won't be able to hold on for long in its current state. Ning Hao thought. Then let it give it a try. Swampert uses Freeze Punch. Choosing to fight Bulbasaur in close combat at this time. It seems that it is in a hurry. Dara thought as he looked at Swampert's moves. Bulbasaur uses Photosynthesis. Take advantage of this moment, Swampert uses Blizzard. Quote. Taking advantage of the gap when Venusaur was using photosynthesis, Ning Hao directly let Swampert use Blizzard. Although the hit rate of Blizzard was low, Venusaur, who was unable to move at this time, could not avoid it. However, due to photosynthesis, Venusaur did not lose its combat effectiveness due to this blizzard, but its own state was almost at its limit. Because of the previous injuries and parasitic seeds, Swampert only had the power to attack once. Let's use the last move, said Dara. He saw that both Pokémon had reached their limits. Although Venusaur could use photosynthesis, he was afraid that Swampert would defeat it before it recovered. Okay. Swampert uses Freeze Beam. Vulpecula uses Falling Flowers. Quote. The two roared at the same time, and chose moves with the same power of 90. There were no excessive movements, just two frontal attacks. Because of the collision between the moves, the surrounding smoke and sand blocked the vision of Ninghao and Dara. After an unknown amount of time, the two Pokémon finally appeared on the field, and they died together. Come back, Swampert, you are already great. Ninghao stepped forward and used the power of Evergreen to heal it and then put it back into the Pokeball. Your Swampert is well cultivated, and it can switch between ice and water attributes freely. If it weren't for the attribute advantage, I'm afraid I wouldn't even have the chance to die together, and I would only be easily defeated by you. Dara said. Then let's have the last battle. Go ahead, Articuno. The Articuno, who was resting on the side, slowly opened his eyes. It and Dara were friends, not a trainer and Pokemon relationship, but it was still willing to fight for Dara. The battle was a battle. Go, Blaziken. Ninghao chose Blaziken to fight Articuno. Articuno uses Hail. Dara controlled the weather at the beginning, and the hail weather can also continue to make Blaziken lose blood. Blaziken uses Rockfall. Rocks fell from the sky, and Articuno kept dodging but was still hit by the rocks. A scream sounded, and Articuno fell heavily to the ground. Blaziken uses Jet Flame. Articuno, use Ice Beam to counterattack. Dara shouted quickly on the side. Articuno quickly spit out a freezing beam from its mouth and hit the oncoming jet flames. Unfortunately, the advantage of the jet flame attribute directly broke the freezing beam, and finally landed directly on Articuno. Articuno screamed again and flew backwards. Flame, use Flash Charge now. Articuno uses White Mist to block its sight. Flame was blocked by a cloud of white mist when it rushed towards Articuno, and it also stopped attacking, a little at a loss. Articuno uses Air Slash now. Dara wanted to attack Flame when Flame had no vision. Flame uses Bounce and jumps into the air. Flame reacted quickly and barely dodged the attack. And Articuno was also very smart, hiding the whole bird in the white mist. Flame uses Overheat in the white mist. The range of the white mist is limited, and Overheat can completely cover the entire white mist, so Articuno has no way to avoid it and was hit directly from the front. This last blow also successfully made Articuno lose its fighting power. You win. Dara said, looking at Articuno whose eyes were spinning. Yeah. Ninghao responded. Wait a moment, I'll let Articuno recover first, and then we'll start fighting. Leza said to Natsu. Yeah. Natsu responded. After an unknown amount of time, Lada came over and said, let's get started. Okay. Then the two came to the stage. Go on, Strange. Go on, Carinchi. Although Natsu has subdued Carinchi for some time, Carinchi doesn't have much time to appear. Carinchi uses Flash, then uses Mind Hammer. Taking advantage of Strange's loss of vision, Natsu asked Carinchi to launch an attack. Strange uses Bodybuilding. Strange's muscles tightened, his defense was greatly improved, and the damage caused by Carinchi's Mind Hammer was greatly weakened. Kai Li, use the force of the throw. The blinding time has passed, and Kai Li uses Carinchi's inertia to throw him out fiercely. Carinchi, get up and use the mental power. Kai Li, use the lower body kick, don't let it stand up. Carinchi was very competitive and did not give Kai Li any chance, but used the mental power to knock him out. Carinchi, use the illusion beam to end it. Kai Li was hit by the illusion beam again before he landed, and flew out again. Well done, Carinchi. Seeing Carinchi defeat Kai Li, Natsu shouted excitedly. Come back Kai Li, come on Golduck. Golduck uses the freezing wind. Carinchi, dodge quickly and use the illusion beam. Unfortunately, Carinchi still didn't have time to dodge and was hit by the freezing wind. Because of the influence of the freezing wind, its speed dropped sharply. Gotha Duck uses water tail. At this time, Karinki's body was stiff, and he didn't have time to dodge the attack. He was directly knocked out. Coupled with the previous injuries, he lost his combat power. Come back Karinchi, come on Lizard King. Gotha Duck uses freeze beam. Lizard King, dodge it and use seed machine gun. The Lizard King jumped back and dodged the freeze beam, then opened his mouth wide, and countless seeds shot at Gotha Duck, like a machine gun, knocking it away. Gotha Duck, used telekinesis to counterattack. Gotha Duck, flying backwards, controlled telekinesis to stabilize his figure and used telekinesis to knock Lizard King away. Lizard King, use ultimate absorb. Gotha Duck uses guard. Lizard King, use energy ball now to end it. After consuming Gotha Duck's guard with ultimate absorb, Natsu chose to end it with an energy ball. Come back, Golduck. It's your turn again, Articuno. Lizard King uses rock blockade. Articuno uses high-speed star to dodge this attack. The speed of Articuno increased dramatically, and it escaped directly from the coverage of the rock. Articuno continues to use the freezing beam. Lizard King dodges and uses rockfall. The Lizard King dodged Articuno's freezing beam by turning sideways, and while Articuno was using skills, he launched an attack. This time Articuno had no way to avoid it, and was directly hit by the rock. After a wail, Articuno fell heavily to the ground. Articuno uses Feather Roost. Looking at the seriously injured Articuno, Dara chose to let it recover. Lizard King, use rock blockade now. The huge stone blocked Articuno's retreat. Articuno flies up, and quickly leaves the attack range. Unfortunately, Articuno was a step slower and was hit by the rock. Fortunately, it recovered a lot because of Feather Roost, otherwise it would probably be taken away by this attack. Lizard King, use Thunder Fist to end it. Quote. The Lizard King's fist flashed with lightning and rushed straight towards Articuno. After a wail, Articuno lay on the ground motionless, with circles in his eyes. You win. Dara said. This is a symbol of your knowledge. Dara handed 2 golden badges to the two. Only the last 3 pioneering minds are left. Ning Hao said to Natsu on the way back to the hotel. Well, but I heard that the pioneering mind that fought against the pyramid has a divine beast, I don't know if it's true. Natsu asked curiously. Well, it's true, it has the 3 holy pillars. Ning Hao said. 3 holy pillars. It seems that it's a bit difficult to get the badge. Natsu said. The strength of the 3 holy pillars should be about the same as Articuno. Ning Hao said that the 3 holy pillars with divine duties are guarding the world's original tree. Well, if you haven't entered the king level, there is still a chance. Naz said. Let's go back and rest today, and continue tomorrow. Well, these 2 battles are much more difficult than the battle site. Then the 2 returned to the restaurant near the hotel and decided to eat first. Just when the 2 were halfway through their meal, Ning Hao received a message from Kurakawa Z saying that they were on the way and expected to arrive tomorrow. Go back and rest. Although they will come tomorrow, they plan to stay in the battle site for a few days and then go to collect badges. It is expected that they will meet us next week. Ning Hao said to Naz. After a night, the 2 got up early and decided to continue to challenge the development facilities. Let's go to the Battle Palace first. Natsu asked. Well, the Battle Palace is closer to us. Ning Hao said while looking at the map. The 2 then set off in the direction of the Battle Palace. The Battle Palace is different from the previous battle facilities. It is more like a primitive island. There are no particularly gorgeous modern buildings but an ancient palace covered by forests. As the 2 walked on the island, they saw an old man riding on Bulbasaur. You are Mr. Yukong, right? Ning Hao asked. Well, it's me. You are here to challenge me, right? Yukong asked and motioned Bulbasaur to stop. Well, Ning Hao replied. Then come with me. Then Yukong led the 2 to the battle site. Yukong was chatting with the 2 along the way, and seemed very friendly. Just like the introduction, he was a very friendly old man. After walking for an unknown period of time, the 3 of them came to a jungle. Yukong suddenly stopped and said, We are here. Yeah. Who will start first? Yukong asked. I'll go first. Naz said. Go, Lizard King. Lizard King. Then I choose you, Cunning Tengu. Pokémon. Cunning Tengu. Level. 57. Gender. Male. Attribute. Grass evil. Classification. Evil Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Chlorophyll. Personality. Cheerful. Skills. Shadow Ball, Shadow Clone, Rock Crushing. Isn't this the same scene as Xiaoji and Yukang's battle? Lizard King vs Cunning Tengu. Ning Hao thought as he looked at their Pokémon. Lizard King uses Combo Slash. Cunning Tengu, use Shadow Clone. Cunning Tengu moved quickly, jumping left and right repeatedly, creating an illusion just like a bald guy, making Lizard King not know who to attack, and was stunned for a while. Cunning Tengu, use Shadow Ball now. Lizard King, defend. Cunning Tengu's attack speed is very fast. It is too late to run, so Lizard King can only be on guard. Lizard King, continue to use the continuous slash to counterattack. Because Lizard King was well prepared, Shadow Ball did not cause it much trouble. Instead, Cunning Tengu was knocked out by the continuous slash. Cunning Tengu, use Air Blade. Lizard King, use See-Through. Then use Cross Scissors to counterattack. Lizard King saw through Cunning Tengu's attack trajectory, easily avoided it, and then fought back with a Cross Scissors. Cunning Tengu flew backwards again. Cunning Tengu, use Photosynthesis. Lizard King, use Solar Beam now. It's over, Cunning Tengu is completely unable to move now. Yu Kong said. Bloom, Solar Beam. Lizard King then hit Cunning Tengu and made it lose its combat effectiveness. Come back, Cunning Tengu. Go, Psychic Clay Doll. Pokémon. Psychic Clay Doll. Level. 58. Gender. None. Attribute. Ground, Psychic. Classification. Clay Doll Pokémon. Qualification. Gym. Feature. Float. Personality. Gentle. Skills. Instantaneous movement, high-speed rotation, destructive ray. Lizard King uses Parasitic Seed. Psychic Clay Doll uses high-speed rotation. Although possessed by the Parasitic Seed, a high-speed rotation directly invalidates the Parasitic Seed. Psychic Clay Doll continues to use supernatural power to attack the opponent. A supernatural power knocked the Lizard King away fiercely, accompanied by a wail. Use the destructive ray now. The Lizard King in the air had no way to avoid it, and was directly hit by the destructive ray, losing its combat effectiveness. Come back, Lizard King. Go, Gardevoir. Gardevoir uses Magic Leaf. The Psychic Doll uses Teleport to dodge its attack, and then uses the Divine Power to attack it. Unfortunately, Yukong forgot that the Psychic Doll was unable to move because of the use of the Destruction Ray, and could only watch as the Magic Leaf hit it. Fortunately, the damage of the Magic Leaf was not high and did not make the Psychic Doll lose its combat effectiveness. Gardevoir uses Magic Flash now and pursues the victory. The Psychic Doll uses Teleport and then uses the Phantom Attack. Maybe it's a superpower. The mutual induction between them, Gardevoir aimed the attack at the direction where the telekinetic Clay Doll appeared at the last moment, interrupting its phantom light. Well done, Gardevoir. Natsu shouted excitedly when he saw Gardevoir's performance. Come on, Gardevoir, use your supernatural power. Gardevoir uses instant teleportation. The luck of the telekinetic Clay Doll was not so good. It did not predict the location where Gardevoir would appear, so this supernatural power directly missed. Gardevoir, use Energy Ball to end it. The current state of the telekinetic Clay Doll is very poor. It can no longer avoid Gardevoir's attack and has directly lost its combat effectiveness. Come back, Gardevoir. It's your turn, old friend. Yukong patted Bulbasaur on the side and said. Bulbasaur's momentum is very strong. It has reached the peak of the gym and even touched the threshold of the king. Gardevoir uses Psychic Power. Vulpes uses Sweet Aroma. Yukong was very confident in Venusaur and gave up defense. Venusaur was unexpectedly not injured and only took a few steps back, and the Sweet Aroma also hit Gardevoir, making it intoxicated. Vulpes, use Leaf Blade. Gardevoir, use Teleport to avoid its attack. Unfortunately, Gardevoir was still immersed in the Sweet Aroma and did not react, and was hit directly. Vulpes continues to use Vine Whip to attack it. Gardevoir uses Teleport to avoid the attack and then uses Magic Flame. Gardevoir's Teleport made Venusaur lose its target. Vulpes, behind you. Yukong saw Gardevoir appear behind Venusaur and shouted hurriedly, but unfortunately the Magic Flame was ready and hit the garlic head of the garlic turtle directly. Fortunately, Venusaur with thick fat is very durable and has not lost its combat effectiveness. Bulbasaur uses Solar Beam. Gardevoir, don't give it a chance, use Psychic Power. However, Bulbasaur condensed Solar Beam very quickly and directly knocked Gardevoir away. Gardevoir also lost its combat effectiveness because of this attack. Ning Hao shook his head and thought, other people's Wifemons are devastating and crushing divine beasts, but why is your Wifemon so weak? Is it a gender problem? Tisk tisk tisk, male Wifemons just don't last long enough. What are you thinking about? Why are you shaking your head and tisk tisk tisk? Natsu asked. Nothing. Ning Hao quickly replied. The battle was a battle. Come back, Gardevoir. Go, Carinchi. Huh. Let Carinchi play. Ning Hao looked at Natsu and asked in confusion. Thinking carefully, Carinchi's characteristic is herbivorous, which is immune to grass attribute skills. Carinchi uses defensive swap. Huh. The boy is quite playful. Ning Hao was also stunned when he saw Natsu's operation. Bulbasaur uses Petal Dance. Yukong saw Carinchi's operation, and his mind only wanted to end the battle as soon as possible. Carinchi uses Psychic Power. The Petal Dance was directly ignored by Carinchi. Huh. How could it be that nothing happened? Yukong asked in surprise when he saw Carinchi was unscathed. Instead, Bulbasaur was knocked out. Carinchi, continue to use mental power. Bulbasaur, use photosynthesis. Looking at Carinchi attacking, Yukong had to let Bulbasaur recover. Bulbasaur flew backwards again. After the defense exchange, its defense was a little weak. Two mental power attacks almost made it lose its combat effectiveness. Carinchi, don't give it a chance. Use mental power to end it. After one mental power, Bulbasaur lost its combat effectiveness. You win. Yukong said to Natsu. I also won by luck because Carinchi can ignore grass attribute attacks. Natsu said modestly, and what he said was the truth. Carinchi's strength is far behind Bulbasaur. If it weren't for the ineffectiveness of grass attribute that made Yukong confused, it would be hard to tell who would win or lose in this battle. If we lose, we lose. Ha ha ha, I'll let Chandler recover their injuries first. Yukong said. The battle palace is different. Other battle facilities rely on advanced instruments to recover Pokémon, but here Chandler recovers Pokémon. After a while, Yukong came over and said, it's your turn. After you finish the challenge, I will give you the symbol of spirit. Okay, thank you very much. Ning Hao said. Then let's get started. Go, Cunning Tengu. Go, Blaziken. Cunning Tengu uses air blades. Blaziken uses bounce to dodge. Blaziken jumped up and easily avoided Cunning Tengu's air blade. Blaziken uses jet flames directly in the air. Cunning Tengu uses shadow clones to disrupt it. The shadow clone is still very useful. When Blaziken saw that there were two Cunning Tengu, he didn't know who to attack for a while. Take advantage of this moment to let Blaziken use his magical power. Yukong gave the order while Blaziken was cloning. And Blaziken reacted quickly and attacked Blaziken directly. Blaziken reacted quickly and used the jet of flame to attack Blaziken, and finally the two Pokémon flew backwards at the same time. Blazing Chicken uses Flash Charge. Blazing Chicken uses Shadow Clone. Yukong chose Shadow Clone again to confuse Blaziken, but he never expected that Blaziken would be so fast, and he didn't give Blaziken a chance to perform at all. So fast! Yukong exclaimed. Blazing Chicken, cheer up and use Storm. Blazing Chicken, don't give it a chance to use Fire Fist to end it. Blazing Chicken rushed towards Blaziken quickly, and flames were still coming out of its fist. After a wail, Blaziken lost its combat power directly. Come back, Cunning Tengu. Go, Psychic Doll. Blazer uses Sunny Sky. Psychic Doll uses Earthquake. Blazer uses Bounce. Blazer jumps up with its powerful explosive power and avoids the damage caused by the earthquake. Blazer uses Brave Bird attack. Psychic Doll uses instant move to get out of the way. Psychic Doll uses Earth power now. Yukong wants to use the inertia of Blazer's Brave Bird attack to let the Psychic Doll attack it, but this is also a step in Ning Hao's plan. Just waiting for you, Blazer uses Solar Beam. Blazer freezes and then begins to condense Solar Beam. With the help of Sunny Sky, it saves a lot of time. Blazer is blown away by the Earth power and the Psychic Doll is also blown away by the Solar Beam. Both Pokémon lose their combat effectiveness at the same time. Come back, Blaziken. Come back, Psychic Clay Doll. Your Blaziken is very powerful. It even has grass attribute skills. I was really surprised. Yukong said with a smile. Thank you for your compliment. Let's continue. Okay, it's your turn again, old buddy. Come out, Dragonite. Bulbasaur uses Parasitic Seed. Dragonite, fly higher to avoid Parasitic Seed. Dragonite flew higher and higher, and directly left the attack range of Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur uses Poison Powder to cover the entire field. This move is really amazing. Ning Hao thought. Dragonite uses Storm Wind to blow away the Poison Powder. Then use Steel Wings to attack Bulbasaur. The strong wind blew away the poison powder in the field, and Dragonite also spread its wings and rushed towards Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur flew backwards, but did not lose its combat effectiveness because of this attack. Dragonite uses Ultimate Impact. Bulbasaur uses Grass Knot. Dragonite rushed towards Bulbasaur at a very fast speed, but unfortunately Bulbasaur used Grass Knot to throw it out. Are you okay, Dragonite? Dragonite's weight plus inertia, this attack may cause great damage. Dragonite flew up again, and it didn't seem to have much problem. It seems that Dragonite is really tough. Ning Hao thought as he looked at the vigorous Dragonite. Bulbasaur uses Petal Dance. Dragonite uses Jet Flame. The Petal Dance and Jet Flame collided with each other, and Jet Flame directly burned the petals to ashes, and then hit Bulbasaur. Dragonite uses Big Explosion to end it now. After being knocked away, Bulbasaur was taken away by Big Explosion before it could react. You won. Yukong said as he looked at Bulbasaur who had lost his fighting power. This is a symbol of your spirit. Yukong took out 2 golden badges and handed them to the two. At the same time, Jigglypuff also began to heal the Pokémon very skillfully. Thank you, then we will leave first. Ning Hao and Natsu left the Battle Palace after getting the badge. Let's go, let's have a meal before going to the Battle Tower. Ning Hao said. Yeah, it's just on the way. Natsu responded. The two returned to the hotel and prepared to have lunch in the restaurant before going to the Battle Tower. Is it you? Suddenly a familiar voice came from the side of the two. Huh. It's you, Miss Lena. It turned out to be the trainer who had fought before. Well, I also happened to come to the Battle Frontier to practice, waiting for the Caillou conference to start. Lena said. The two of them were waiting for the start of the Caillou conference. What a coincidence. We are also waiting here for the Caillou conference to start. Ning Hao said. Well, then I will leave with my companions first. See you at the Caillou conference. Lena said and left with her companions. It seems that I will meet many familiar people at the Caillou conference. Naz said. Ha ha ha, I am looking forward to it. Ning Hao laughed. Let's go to the battle tower. Ning Hao patted his belly and said. The last 2 battle facilities. The two went straight to the battle tower. Miss Lila, we are here to challenge you. Ning Hao said. Well, come in. Then Lila brought the two to the ring. An hour later, Naz and Ning Hao left the battle tower with the symbol of their ability. Let's start special training in the battleground tomorrow. Ning Hao said. Well, wait for Kurakawa Z and the others to come before going to the battle pyramid. Okay, let's have a good rest today. After returning to the hotel, Ning Hao returned to the system space. As soon as he entered the space, Ning Hao saw Groudon flying freely. And Groudon flew over excitedly when he saw Ning Hao. How is it? How does it feel to fly? It's so cool. I want to learn the skill of flying. Although I can fly with this, I always feel it's unreliable. Groudon said. Well, Xiaoling will exchange gravity for Groudon. Okay, 10,000 points have been deducted. Xiaoling said. Oh my god, it's so expensive. Ning Hao shouted. Hee, items that don't belong to this world are of course more expensive, after all, smuggling requires extra fees. Xiaoling laughed. Forget it. Ning Hao said speechlessly. So can Groudon fly now? Ning Hao continued to ask. No, it needs to master gravity before it can learn to fly. Okay, Groudon, you practice well. Well, I will try my best. Groudon said excitedly. This is its chance to get rid of the rumor that the mythical beast cannot fly. Then I'll go first. Ning Hao said and came to Venusaur and Charizard. Today, Venusaur is like Charizard, surrounded by a layer of cocoon, and there is also a strong energy around. Alas, I don't know when they can wake up. Ning Hao said. Where is the opportunity for Absol and Gyarados? Although Kyogre can guide Gyarados, it's a pity that breaking through the champion still depends on opportunity. Ning Hao continued to think. Today, Gyarados is already training with Kyogre. As for why Kyogre was training, it was because he saw Groudon start to train hard, so he rolled up. Only Absol had no one to teach it, and the only evil attributed mythical beasts were Yveltal, Darkrai and Hulu, and Ning Hao could not meet them in the Hoenn region. It seems that these 3 yellow-skinned mice are really addicted to Landlord. Ning Hao thought as he looked at the 3 yellow-skinned mice that ignored him. Next to them were the 3 mythical beasts and the messenger bird who were playing mahjong. As for Jirachi, he had already left the field. As for the reason, it had never lost, so it was kicked out. Jirachi, come out with me. Ning Hao said. Yeah. Jirachi, who had always won, also felt bored and began to miss the outside world. Ning Hao, who appeared again, came to the restaurant with Jirachi in his arms for supper. The cute Jirachi also captured the hearts of many young ladies. I'll have to complain to Ho-Oh when the time comes. Its messenger is really unreliable. Ning Hao thought. Days passed, and Ning Hao and Natsu also stayed in the battle site for a week. During this week, Dragonite and Swampert successfully reached level 60, while Blaziken and Leaf King were slightly worse, reaching level 58, and Pikachu and Melodic reached level 57. There's still more than a month before the Kaiju conference. I don't know if they can break through to the King level. Ning Hao thought. At this time, the phone rang, and Ning Hao saw that it was Kurakawa Z calling. You guys are here? Ning Hao asked directly. Well, let's have dinner together. Kurakawa Z and others also obtained all the badges except the God Era, and came to meet Ning Hao. Okay. Then Ning Hao called Natsu to the agreed place. Natsu has superpowers, and Kurakawa Z also has money power, and the two are a bit similar. Time flies, and a month has passed quickly. It's time to go to the battle pyramid. Ning Hao said. Well, let's go to Kaiju City after the battle pyramid. Natsu suggested. The 5-member team set off for the battle pyramid. Mr. Kamishiro, we are here to challenge the battle pyramid. The 5 people have no confidence in defeating Kamishiro. After all, the pressure from the 3 beasts is still too great. Well, you guys come in. I'll go first. Kurakawa said. Come out, Blastoise. Come out, Regirock. Pokémon. Regirock. Level. 60. Gender. None. Attribute. Rock. Classification. Rock Pokémon. Qualification. King of Heaven. Feature. Eternal Pure Body. Personality. Brave. Skills. Big Bang, Brute Force, Primal Power. As expected, there is no priesthood, but even so, they can't defeat it. Ning Hao thought as he looked at the panel. In the end, Kurakawa Z used 3 Pokémon to take Regirock away. Aoi was a bit luckier. She was a trainer who was proficient in water attributes. She successfully took Regirock away with 2 Pokémon, but was still taken away by Regiskill. Pokémon. Regiskill. Level. 60. Gender. None. Attribute. Steel. Classification. Black and Gold Pokémon. Qualification. King. Feature. Eternal Pure Body. Personality. Arrogant. Skills. Earthquake, Metal Claw, Iron Wall. Natsu and Nancy defeated Regirock and Regiskill, but unfortunately lost to Regiachi in the end. Pokémon. Regiachi. Level. 60. Gender. None. Attribute. Ice. Classification. Iceberg Pokémon. Qualification. King. Features. Eternal Purity. Personality. Conservative. Skills. Ice Beam, Thunder, Sleep. Depend on you. Now you are the only one who has hope. The 4 looked at Ning Hao and said. Yeah. Ning Hao said. Come out, Regirock. Kamishiro sent out Regirock first as usual. Come out, Swampert. Swampert uses Water Wave. Regirock uses Primal Power. Kamishiro thought that Primal Power was enough to offset Water Wave, but unfortunately the power of Water Wave was beyond his imagination and directly knocked Regirock away. The 2 of them were so busy that they had to face each other. Interesting, your Swampert is very strong. Shendai said. Regirock uses Brute Force. Swampert uses water cannon. In the collisions, Swampert firmly occupied the advantage. Regirock uses Big Bang. Swampert uses Hold. Unfortunately, the power of Big Bang was too great, and even with Hold, Swampert was injured. What a pity, even Big Bang didn't solve you. Shendai said regretfully. Come back, Regirock, come on, Regisquirrel. Regisquirrel uses brute force. Swampert, use earthquake quickly. Quote. Just as Regis Geel rushed over, Swampert's earthquake was launched, making Regis Geel immobile. Swampert, keep using earthquake. Regis Geel, get close to it and use brute force. This time, Regis Geel was much more cautious and was not trapped in place by the earthquake, and Swampert was also defeated by this blow. Come back, Swampert. Go on, Blaziken. Blaziken uses jet flame. The slow-moving Regis Geel had no ability to avoid this blow and flew backwards, his whole body burned red by the high temperature. Blaziken, keep using jet flame. After several rounds of fighting, Regis Geel gradually fell into a disadvantage. Regis Geel uses big word explosion. Romance again. Ning Hao was stunned by Cameo's operation. This big brother really loves this skill, but it's a bit wasteful of Pokémon. Ning Hao thought. Blazer didn't have time to react and died together with Regiscalu. Come back Regiscalu, go on Regiachi. Come back Blaziken, go on King of Leave. King of Leave uses Arm Hammer. Regice uses Frozen Light Wind. Frozen Wind. It won't be a prelude to the big explosion later. Ning Hao looked at Cameo strangely and immediately became alert. King of Leave, move away and use the True Chi Bullet. Ning Hao shouted. Regice, get close to it and use Blizzard. Cameo commanded. King of Leave, run. Ning Hao shouted hurriedly. Quote. Cameo looked at Ning Hao speechlessly. The King of Leave and Regiachi started a chase. The King of Leave uses bodybuilding. Continue to use bodybuilding. Ning Hao's purpose was not to attack, but to defend. After all, with the character of Kamiya, a big explosion was inevitable. Regiachi uses Destruction Ray. The King of Leave uses Hold. Hold. Regiachi, get close to it and use Big Bang. The King of Leave uses Hold. Regiachi's Big Bang almost killed the King of Leave, but fortunately, 2 bodybuilding and Hold allowed the King of Leave to survive. Come back, Regiachi. Come back, the King of Leave. Ning Hao quickly took back the King of Leave. You win. Kamiya looked at Ning Hao and said. Quote. Quote. This is a symbol of bravery, you accept it. Shendai handed a golden badge to Ning Hao. It's time to leave, Ning Hao said to everyone. Yes. Destination. Caillou City. A group of 5 people set off in the direction of Caillou City. There are so many people. Kurokawa Z said as he looked at the crowded streets. It should be because of the Caillou conference that attracted so many people. Ning Hao said. Yes. Then the 4 or 5 people first found a hotel to stay in. This time, Hanako and Xiaoji did not come to cheer him up. After all, the journey was too long. Sure enough, there are many familiar faces. Ning Hao said. Yes, many of them are from the battle development area. Yes. The 5 people rested in Caillou City for a week. Tomorrow is the opening ceremony. Ning Hao said. Well, the battle will start tomorrow. Quote. After a week's rest, my hands are itching to play. Naz said. Time soon came to the next day, and a group of 5 people came to the competition venue. After taking out the competition certificate and handing it to the front desk, the 5 people came to the rest area. Dear audience, our competition is about to begin. Now, please invite Champion Daigo to hold the opening ceremony for us. The host said. Then Daigo went on stage to light the sacred flame, which also meant that the Caillou conference had begun. Next, please invite the contestants to draw number plates. Then the host began to introduce the rules of the competition, and the rules of the competition are the same as those of the quartz conference. What are your numbers? I'm number 16. Qingshui Kui asked. I'm number 222. Kurokawa Z said. I'm number 66. Natsu said. I'm number 123. Nancy said. I'm number 183. Ning Hao said. It's a good thing that we didn't meet in the first round. Qingshui Kui said. Next, let's have the first round of the competition. Players number 164, please get ready. Qingshui Kui met a trainer who specialized in earth attributes and easily won the competition. Ning Hao, Kurakawa Z, Natsu and Nancy also easily won the first round and successfully entered the top 128. Ning Hao also saw Ming Tai from the Sinnoh region, who impressed him deeply. He might be the obstacle to winning the championship in this Kaiyu conference. Some players have entered the top 128 now, and we will hold the top 64 tomorrow. The host said, and ended today's game. Let's go, let's have a big meal together to celebrate everyone's victory. Ning Hao said. Great. Everyone was excited to hear about eating. I'm really full. Ning Hao patted his belly and said. Well, go back and rest after eating, we still have to continue the game tomorrow. Naz said. Well. Then the 5 people returned to their residence to rest, ready to welcome the next day's game in the best condition. One night passed. The 5 people went to the competition venue early in the morning to draw the number plate. I'm number 4. Number 17. Number 33. Number 99. Number 66. I didn't meet him this time, it seems that my luck is not bad. Ning Hao said. The enemies the 5 people met this time were all old enemies in the battle development area, and everyone advanced easily. Since there were 2 rounds of matches on the second day, everyone drew lots again to decide their opponents. For some reason, Natsu and Nancy met, and Qingshui Kui and Kurakawa met again. It seems that we have to stop here. Qingshui Kui said. She was no match for Kurakawa Z, not to mention that neither of them could bring themselves to fight, so Qingshui Kui admitted defeat directly. Ning Hao met the defeated opponent in the battle development area again and easily advanced. Now it's up to you two, a showdown between superpowers. Ning Hao said with a smile. Hurry up and get on stage, your game will start soon. Ning Hao continued. The 2 psychic masters did not send out Pokémon with psychic attributes. They decided to decide the outcome with 1 Pokémon before they went on the field. Zheng Gui uses Ice Punch. Lizard King uses Earthquake. Now the only Gengar with floating characteristics is Ning Hao's Gengar, and Earthquake is still very effective against it. Although Gengar did not avoid Lizard King's Earthquake, its fist still hit Lizard King. The battle between Lizard King and Gengar became more and more intense, but Lizard King gradually gained the upper hand. Lizard King uses Earthquake. Zheng Gui uses Same Life. In the end, both of them died together. Just when Natsu was about to send out the second Pokémon, Nancy gave up. Why did you give up? Natsu asked with a puzzled look. Your Lizard King had the upper hand to begin with, and it was just luck that we both died together. Nancy said. Well, thank you very much. Let's congratulate the contestants for entering the top 32 first, and the next game will continue tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, and go back to rest today. The Ming Tai we met last time was very strong, and he hasn't sent out the second Pokémon until now. Natsu said. Yeah, he is very strong, and can even be said to be the dark horse to win the championship in this Kaiyu conference. Ning Hao said. Yeah, from what you said, have you met him? Kurakawa asked. Yeah, he fought in the battle frontier before, and his strength is very strong, close to the level of the king. Ning Hao said. That is indeed your strong enemy. Kurakawa said thoughtfully. After chatting, everyone went back to their rooms to rest. The night passed quickly. The 5 people came to the competition venue again, but now Natsu and Qingshui Kui came here as spectators. The same process, the host still had the same lines, and asked the contestants to draw number plates. I am number 42, how about you? I am number 17. I am number 60. Fortunately, the 3 did not meet, otherwise someone would have stopped in the top 64. However, the top 64 players are different from the previous ones. Most of the players rely on their strength, and only a few are particularly lucky. Kurakawa Z and Naz met 2 strong opponents and almost fell into their hands, but fortunately they won with a score of 3-2 in the end. As for Ning Hao, his performance is still stable, relying only on Flame Chicken to kill all around. The quality of the opponents has improved. Naz said. Well, there is another game to come, and it will probably be even more difficult. Yeah. In the next round of 16, the 3 of them advanced again without any danger. Tomorrow we will be in the quarter-finals, and I guess the real war will begin. Ning Hao recalled the performance of other players and said slowly. Not only Ming Tai, there are several other players who deserve attention. Ning Hao continued. In the afternoon, through Xiao Ling's detection, he found that many players have the strength of the peak of the gym. Xiao Ling, why is this? Although the peak of the gym level is not very strong, it is impossible for there to be so many. Ning Hao asked curiously. Since the master crossed over, the world has changed, which is what you call the butterfly effect. According to the novel, it is the revival of spiritual energy, and the gathering of geniuses. Xiao Ling said casually. The revival of spiritual energy, the gathering of geniuses. Ning Hao was speechless by Xiao Ling's statement. But Ning Hao also found it strange. When he watched the anime before, there might not even be a gym peak in Xiaoji's quartz conference, but in his quartz conference, even a superstar appeared. The direction of this world is different from the Pokémon world I know. Well, never mind, anyway, with my current strength, no one can threaten me. As for Ming Tai, it is impossible that he has no fame in the original book with his strength. Let's go back and rest. It will be 6v6 from tomorrow. Ning Hao said to everyone. Yeah. Xiao Ling, do you think you will encounter enemies like the Divine Beast Man? Ning Hao suddenly asked after returning to the hotel. I guess so. Xiao Ling said playfully. Ha ha ha. Looking at Xiao Ling's appearance, Ning Hao thought she was joking and didn't take it seriously. In another room, Ming Tai was looking at the masked man on the screen with a respectful face. The champion of the quartz conference. Interesting. The masked man said lightly. Yes, Chief, this is all the information I can find out. At the age of 11, he has a king-level Pokémon. He can also quickly train a top-level gym-level team in a new area. Go recruit him. We need such a genius to achieve our goal. The masked man said. Yes, Chief, I will recruit him. If he refuses you, don't do it. I will send someone. His king-level strength is not something you can deal with. The masked man continued. Thank you for your concern, Chief. Ming Tai was like a fanatic. Publish the option task. Option 1. Get the third place in the Caillou Conference, reward, points 10,000. Option 2. Get the runner-up in the Caillou Conference, reward, points 50,000, champion qualification upgrade coupon. Quote. Option 3. Win the Caillou Conference Championship, reward, points 100,000, Absol, Gyarados chance to break through the championship. Chance to be the champion. Then you must choose 3. Ning Hao said excitedly while looking at the task. Gyarados and Absol have been unable to break through for a long time, which has given him a headache. Now issuing such a task is simply a timely help. Let's go, today is the top 8 and top 4 competition. Ning Hao said. What's wrong? Why are you so excited? Haikuan-zi asked curiously. Nothing. Hurry, I can't wait. Ning Hao said and hurried to the venue. What's wrong with him? Haikuan-zi looked at Ning Hao's hurried back and asked the 3 people. I don't know, he was fine yesterday. But he has always been like this, startled. Yeah, that's him. Quote. Dear audience, welcome to the top 8 competition of the Caillou Conference. The next game will be a 6v6 game, then the host introduced the rules of the game. At this time, Lena and her partner came over from the side. She wanted to play against Ning Hao again at the Caillou Conference, but unfortunately she met Ming Tai and stopped in the top 64. Hello, I wanted to play against you again, but unfortunately you were eliminated early. Lena walked towards Ning Hao and said. It's a pity, but it seems that you were eliminated by the trainer in the Sinnoh region. Ning Hao recalled yesterday's game and said. The two of them were very close. Yeah. He's very strong, and I have no power to fight back. Lena said with a wry smile. Yeah, he's really strong. Ning Hao nodded thoughtfully. Then I won't bother you anymore. I wish you a smooth championship. Lena left after saying that. I'm number 3, how about you? Ning Hao asked, looking at the number plate. I'm number 7. I'm number 14. That's not bad. Ning Hao's opponent is a trainer from Zijin City. Senior Ning Hao, I really don't want to meet you so early. I've watched all your games. I'm not your opponent, but I want to try to see where my limit is. The trainer from Zijin City said with a wry smile. Then let's start the battle. At this time, in the audience, the four heavenly kings, Daigo and Mikuli were discussing Ning Hao's performance. He really came to bully the newcomers. Bonnie said. But he seems to be the youngest among all the contestants. Daigo hesitated and said. Yes, but with his strength, except for Daigo and Mikuli, no one can defeat him. If he uses the legendary beast, the two champions will have to go down obediently. Bonnie continued. Among all the people present, only she and Ning Hao's main team had fought. But it may not be so easy for him to win the championship with the current team. The identity of the boy from the Sinnoh region may not be simple. According to the information, he has the quasi-god Pokémon of the Sinnoh region. Bonnie continued. Go Swampert. Go Raiden. The boy from Violet City quickly started fighting with Ning Hao. Electric attribute, that's no threat to Swampert. Ning Hao thought as he looked at the skill panel of Raidenman. He saw that Raidenman's skills were all of thunder attribute, unlike him who had a system mall and could buy skill learning machines of different attributes. Swampert. Oh, it looks like it's over. When the boy from Violet City saw Swampert appear, he gave up completely. All his Pokémon were of electric attribute and their skills were also biased towards electric attribute. He couldn't cause decisive damage to Swampert, who was immune to electric attribute. You can't be all electric attribute. Ning Hao looked at the boy with a bitter face and couldn't help asking. Well, I'm a trainer specializing in electric attribute. Then I'll change one. Ning Hao thought that fans couldn't have no game experience, so he let Pikachu play. Come back Swampert, come on Pikachu. For the competitions in the past few days, Ning Hao specially discussed with Pikachu that after the competition, he would let it play Landlord to its heart's content. However, if it lost the competition, it would be punished by not being able to play Landlord for a year, which made Pikachu's fighting spirit high. Pikachu uses Iron Tail. Raidenman uses Discharge to counterattack. Pikachu is now fighting for his dream, and the power of Iron Tail is surprisingly great, knocking Raidenman out fiercely. This Pikachu is a bit fierce. Said Audience A in the audience. Yeah, much stronger than my Pikachu. Said a beautiful girl holding Pikachu. Pika Pika. The Pikachu in her arms began to protest. Take Mr. Ning Hao's Pikachu as your goal, and work hard to train Pikachu. Many trainers who have Pikachu began to brainwash their Pikachu. Pikachu uses 100,000 volts. Ning Hao on the stage naturally didn't know that his Pikachu had led to a craze for catching Pikachu. With his ability to promote Pokémon, he can make money by live streaming and selling goods. He is definitely the best seller. Raidenman uses Charge. Raidenman used the Charge skill to reduce the damage caused by 100,000 volts. Pikachu's own electric attribute power is not particularly strong. After being weakened, it did not cause much damage to Raidenman. Pikachu uses High-Speed Star. Ning Hao thought about it and decided to use a skill of general attribute. Raidenman, use Thunder. While Raidenman had just finished charging, he decided to use the powerful move of Thunder to try to see if he could deal with Pikachu. Unfortunately, Pikachu avoided all the tools with his flexible body. This series of operations once again ignited the whole audience. Due to the lack of attribute advantages, Pikachu cannot fight quickly, but still successfully defeated 3 with a general attribute attack. Since 3 Pokémon lost their combat power, the 2 came to the half-time break and began to draw new venues. Your Pikachu is so strong. Zijin Xiao Wu, a trainer from the city, said. Your Pokémon are not bad. Maybe it would be better to try to train them with some skills of other attributes. Only electric skills will limit your attack range. Ning Hao looked at Xiao Wu and gave advice. Okay, thank you for your advice. In the end, the game ended with Ning Hao winning easily. Your Pikachu is really strong. Ning Hao heard such comments as soon as he came back. It is also fighting for its dream. Ning Hao smiled. Huh. Everyone looked at him in confusion. I told it that if it loses, it can't play games for a year. Ning Hao explained. Everyone was speechless when they heard Ning Hao's words. At this time, Haikuan-Zi had been eliminated, and the reason was because he met Mingtai. The man named Mingtai is really strong. I tried my best but could only force him to use 4 Pokémon. Haikuan-Zi said seriously. Yeah, Ning Hao said. Just now, with the help of Xiao Ling's detection, he found that Ming Tai's fourth Pokémon, Warhammer, also has the qualification of the king level. I am not sure if I meet him. Ning Hao said. Now his team has not yet broken through to the king level. As long as Ming Tai's team has a king level Pokémon, he will be in danger. Ning Hao's words shocked everyone present. If his trump card has not yet appeared, it is very likely to be a king level Pokémon. Ning Hao said. King level. Although Natsu and Ning Hao both have king level Pokémon, it is a pity that the Pokémon they chose when registering are all new teams, so they are not very sure. No matter, let's go draw the number plate first. Ning Hao said and left with Natsu. I'm number 8, what about you? No. 5. Fortunately, I didn't meet him. But the top 8 opponents are all strong, so be careful. Well, from the previous games, there are no trainers with ghost attributes, but there is a trainer specializing in dark attributes. As long as I don't meet him and Ming Tai, I'm still confident. Go on stage, the game will start soon. Go, Melodic. The enemy is a trainer specializing in fire attributes. In order to preserve his strength, Ning Hao directly sent Melodic, hoping to quickly end the battle with the attribute advantage. While Ning Hao was fighting, Team Rocket on the isolated island was brewing a plan to deal with him. Thanks for watching.